folks, it's time to kick it old school. So you can feel cool. Give it to me, baby. Baby. Yeah.
What up, Nine?
Trapaholics Mixtapes.
As the 9% and word would say, make a better you, a better us.
Give them what they ask for.
Who do you think you are? I'm the word. Boy, I'm the one who put in the work.
When I move, is it a quick rumble? I will never ever fall, never stumble. And I don't need to be humble. Break down walls like Jericho crumble.
What up, though? Uh-oh. I didn't do the audio. Hold on. My bad. I don't know if y'all can hear me or not. Can y'all hear me? Oh, man. Hold on. I don't think y'all can hear me. Nope, I don't think they can hear me. Hold on. Where is it at, bro? Oh, duh. All right, we should be able to rock and roll. Can y'all hear me now? Can y'all, is it better? Is that better? Okay. What up, though? It's the word. You see the title. We about to get into it. But before we get into that, do me a favor, hit that like, and if you're new, hit that subscribe, man. It's free to you, but it mean the world to me. Let me make myself bigger until uh, there we go. Make myself a little bigger, right? So today, my bad. Let me get into the chat. Dee. What up, though, Dee? Appreciate you, now. Gary, Mr. Gary, bust it down, Brown. Bust it, bust it down, Brown. What up, though, fam? My 33 brothers in the building. What up, man? Appreciate you. Who else we got? Sports chat. All right. So check this out, man. This ain't the first time I talked about the dark triad, right? Made a video about it a couple years ago. But with having these conversations, information updates, not only information updates, but new people here. Some people weren't here when I did that video. So it's always good, especially when that's your niche. I like talking about behavior. So this ain't the first time, and it ain't gonna be the last time I talk about the dark triad. There's many different ways to talk about it. So what we gonna do tonight is we're gonna talk about the dark triad. I'm gonna have a little conversation about it. Then we're gonna watch a couple videos. They're not too long. I think the longest one is like 11 minutes. Shortest one is like 2 minutes, like a minute or something. So, and then after that, we go talk. We have a conversation. I open up the panel. People got questions, or if you got questions when you hear something, or when I say something, feel free to type it in the chat. Right. But the importance to me to talk about this because this is behavior. It's not only great to learn, so you will understand who and what you really interacting with, so you can make better decisions on if I should interact with this person, or how to interact with the person, right? And also too, the self-reflection, self-evaluation, to look at yourself. Like, dang, am I heading towards this, or am I this? Do I do these things? Is this the type of behavior do I display, or am I heading this way? So it's good not only to look on the outside but the inside. So the dirt triad. We will watch a couple videos. When you look this up, people explain it different ways. I always say go look for a medical professional who really indulges in the information, right? I always say that. I can tell you everything I tell you is to give you awareness, to give you a little clarity of understanding. But if you want the ins and outs, always go to the people who, get the paperwork to prove that they do this, right? Not saying I don't know more than them or less than them. I'm just saying, you know, me personally, go do your own research. You know, just use me or any professional as a guide, right? But always make your own conclusion, right? Always make your own conclusion. But always do your own research too, right? So the dark triad, what is that? That's someone who possesses all three psychological aspects or psychological personality. Psychopathy, which is psychopath, Machiavellianism, which is the master manipulator, and a narcissist, right? Usually we see people possessing one, sometimes even two of these personality traits or displaying these behaviors. But you do have individuals who possess all three, right? They capable, the best way I can explain it is they embody all three aspects. And at any time they're capable of playing either role, right? Because when you talk about these three, they have things that connect them, meaning similar behavior, and those similar behavior, um, depending on the intent, is how you define which or yeah, define or separate which is which, right? But the scary part is like in the title, one of the most dangerous personalities are people who are all three. You sitting there trying to figure out which one are they when they actually all three. So meaning that anytime they can switch their intent or switch the mask they wear, right? At any given time. But there are things that you can identify and define the behavior and personalities with. So first video we go watch is an actual YouTube short. Name of the I believe the name of the channel is Arthur Brooks. But he's a PhD in social science, meaning that social science covers a lot of different categories. Things from like um, human behavior to social, economic. Um, it covers a plethora of basically people. Right? It's the study of people in different fields that people interact in. So it's like real, literally the study of people. Like psychology is the study of the human mind or human behavior, but social science is the study of people in general, like how they interact with different phases of life. So let's take a listen to Mr. Arthur Brooks. Shout out to, no, I'm not leaving the studio. Almost left the studio.
A dark triad person, or a person with the dark triad constellation of personality characteristics, has these three parts. Narcissism, which is to say, it's all about me. Everything is all about me. Everybody look at me. I'm the most important person. Machiavellianism, which is a personality trait named for Niccolo Machiavelli, who wrote The Prince about 700 years ago. And the concept is it doesn't matter who you hurt if you're serving your own objectives. So that personality trait means, look, it's all about me, and if you get in my way, I'm willing to hurt you. The linchpin is the third part of the personality dark triad, which is psychopathy, traits of a psychopath. Now, that sounds like I'm talking about axe murderers, and that's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about people who simply are very low in empathy and don't feel remorse when they hurt you. Okay, so here's what we're talking about. A person with a dark triad personality is somebody who only thinks about themselves, or primarily so, who to get what they want are willing to hurt you, and when they hurt you, feel no remorse or empathy for doing so. A dark triad person, or a person with the dark
What's the next video we go watch? But just from that, right? Just from that, we can understand that even people, they often say people, narcissists lack empathy, Machiavellianism. People who practice Machiavellianism lack empathy. They lack empathy, but they still feel it. Like the difference between them and the psychopath has no empathy. Like they don't feel shit, right? So a narcissist, they can feel bad about what they do. They can feel bad. Narcissists are like they're they're very what's the word? I don't want to say inferior. Um, but they got most narcissists have very low self esteem. So that right there in itself shows you that uh they might not feel empathy towards other people, but they feel it for themselves. You know, people with low self esteem usually when it's quiet and nobody around, that's when they all have anxiety, they depress. So that's a feeling, that's an emotion, right? Depression, anxiety, those lower feelings are still feelings, and they feel it. A psychopath don't feel bad for nothing. They just don't feel bad. They don't care. They don't have that feeling bad. So what they saying is someone imagine like when you talk about psychopath, usually it's no games played, straightforward, you know, no fear, balls to the wall, straightforward. Now imagine someone who lacks remorse or um, empathy, who do play games like Machiavellian, who do manipulate like narcissists, who do want the attention. Most times, psychopaths don't care about attention. But imagine someone who has a psychopath ideology far as no empathy and a grandioso personality. That's dangerous. That's very dangerous. Yeah, narcissists are very insecure. There you go. Thank you, Gary. Appreciate that, my brother. But imagine someone who lacks empathy. Like they don't feel bad. They don't feel shame. They don't feel like they can be held accountable with a grandioso personality, meaning larger than life. Most psychopaths don't want to be in the limelight. Imagine someone without remorse wanting everyone's attention and love and affection, and they're very manipulative. That's the difference between all three. They have differences, right? But when they embody or encompass one another, that's dangerous, right? And like I said, these people highly excel in business. You know, like a businessman who just think even if you look back in the Labor Day, I mean I can say Labor Day, but back in the day, it was a story. I forgot. Can't think of the top of my head. Damn, but it was like a labor strike and it got bloody. Is that the name of that? It was a movie and everything, but I read about it in a book. It was during kerosene days, right before they switched over to electricity. And what's the name of that incident? I remember it and bring it back. I remember and bring it back. Don't care. Almost emotionalist. Psychopaths are emotionalists, right? So the second video is from I believe it's Psychology Today. Oh, Psych to Go. Psych to Go. Now I don't think they're medical professionals. The first guy was a medical professional, but I don't believe these people are. But they got some cool videos. And the way they're gonna break it down, they're gonna break down the personalities. But they didn't really break down the actual dark triad. They broke down individual personalities, but it's a good video. I think towards the end they give an explanation, but hold on, I gotta come over here. I need my dual screen.
Hey Psych2Goers, welcome back to another Psych2Go video. Have you ever heard of the dark triad of personalities? Well, what is the dark triad and how was it discovered? So, the dark triad is 3 overlapping yet distinct personalities: subclinical narcissism, subclinical psychopathy, and Machiavellianism. By subclinical, we mean that someone might show the traits of a narcissist or a psychopath, but they're not severe enough to be diagnosed as a disorder. In 2002, Delroy L. Paulas and Kevin M. Williams at the University of British Columbia did a study on whether these 3 personalities were identical by comparing the 3 personality traits of the dark triad with 3 other psychological aspects. They found that the correlation patterns were very different and concluded that psychopathy, narcissism, and Machiavellianism were indeed distinct. So,
Before 2002, even though they had different terminologies, they still closely associated. I know narcissism and psychopathy. I know they related them, like they came out of one another. But in 2002, those 2 doctors decided that they're actually different personalities. They're different personalities. And if you didn't know the way like if you seen it said subclinical, meaning undiagnosed, show signs of it, but it's not diagnosed. So you can observe it, but technically it hasn't been diagnosed. It's some subclinical mean. So what they're saying is, I mean, if you know how they diagnose it, is 8 to 9 step process. But anyway, the 3 main steps are behavior, the consistency of behavior, and the reaction to the behavior. Meaning, do they show any empathy or any sense of accountability after the action is done? That's how they determine. But the key factor is the consistency in the behavior. Meaning, is it derived through a stimulant, meaning something in the environment made them do this, or a person because they interacted with a person in a situation happened that they did this, or is it natural to them? So the consistency in the behavior. So it they have to evaluate and understand if it's stimulants involved, because you heard the term trait, meaning possibility. Like this is a possibility that this come out or it happened. It's there, like everyone, we all have these traits, but it's a possibility if it come out, right? Um, So when they talking about like the trait, like I said, the trait, the stimulant, something on the outside happen and it triggers you to respond or react like this. That's, we all have those traits, but the consistency of behavior, is it natural? Is it something that we do no matter what the circumstances or scenario is? Or does it have to be, it's like someone who's willing to unalive someone, right? Is it because they're upset or mad that they do it? Is it because they feel the need to defend themselves? If someone is defending themselves and unalive someone, you wouldn't be considered a unalive or a killer. But if someone just get pissed off or mad or having a bad day and then decide to do it, no, those are killers. So it's the consistency and as far as the stimulant involved, right?
So, what's the difference? Narcissists tend to have a large sense of self as they feel entitled and superior to those around them. Machiavellianism, on the other hand, tends to be more manipulative and selfish, and psychopaths are more insensitive as they lack empathy for others and act without thinking. They are all associated with varying degrees of deception, questionable morals, and self-interest, but what they do have in common is disagreeableness. It's also thought that there is a relatively high genetic component to all three personality traits. Interestingly, psychopathy and Machiavellianism are more closely related to each other than narcissism, possibly because narcissism is the only one that can grow from a feeling of insecurity. What about sociopaths? It's easy to confuse psychopaths and sociopaths, so you might be wondering, why aren't sociopaths included in this list? Both are listed as antisocial personality disorders in severe forms, and both share a lack of moral judgment and lack of empathy. There are, however, a few things that distinguish the two. Psychopaths are likely to be pathological liars, and they rarely feel guilt since they do whatever they have to benefit themselves. They're known to be fearless and often good at mimicking behaviors to hide their psychopathic traits. Sociopaths, on the other hand, tend to have a conscience, even if it's weak. Although they are self-centered, they do care for others more than psychopaths. They're also less skilled at hiding their behavior and act in ways that make self-indulgence and lack of empathy more obvious. Although it's unclear as to why sociopaths are not included in the list, it could be due to how environmental factors are more influential to the cause of sociopathy than genetics. How does someone with one or more of these traits act? According to a 10-year review study, members of the dark triad have similar behaviors in a variety of social settings. In the workplace, for example, they're likely to fit the trope of an entitled boss or leader who is able to charm their way to the top, but not make genuine connections with the people around them. In education, cheating and plagiarism are predictable. This is more associated with psychopathy and Machiavellianism. Other than their displays of social entitlement, their behaviors differ more when it comes to interacting with others. Psychopaths tend to give negative first impressions as they want to appear to be intimidating. They also have an uncanny ability to mimic the behavior of those around them to blend in. People with Machiavellianism, along with psychopaths, tend to come off quite cynical and morally suspicious. Narcissists, interestingly, have a skewed sense of self and tend to view themselves as far better leaders and far more empathetic than they actually come off as. Where do we go from here? As you've seen, recent research has made it possible to distinguish between the dark triad of personality. But what does it mean moving forward? Researchers have started to look into the function of the dark triad in the business world, how these personality traits relate to the ability to maximize profits. Psychiatrists have also looked at how the dark triad are more vulnerable to addiction disorders. There are even studies that look into the relationship between the dark triad and affective disorders such as depression. We hope we were able to help you understand and distinguish the different personalities of the dark triad. If you're interested in learning more on each of these personalities and other
That video was basically like to explain the difference, like to explain the bodies of the dark triad. These are the different aspects of it. But even when you look at the diagrams they show, you always see them three circles of interconnecting parts. And those interconnected parts is where basically they can switch. You know how people code switch depending on the situation or circumstance they in. If they need to be a narcissist, they can be a narcissist. If they need to be a manipulator, someone who sit behind the back. See, this is the thing. We can identify these behaviors through the actions, right? This is what makes these people scary. That's how we identify 'em. We got um indicators, right? To identify, like, okay, this is the consistency of this behavior explains this. But someone who can switch due to the circumstances, they can always keep you guessing. That's what make these people dangerous. You be thinking they doing one thing when they doing something else. One minute they can be a narcissist, so you can be okay. I done read this person, they're a narcissist. I know how to deal with them, and bam, they switch to a psychopath. So now you readied yourself to deal with a narcissist, but now you got to deal with a psychopath. And then once you switch, okay, now this person's psychopath. Now you got to switch to Machiavellianism. That's what make these people so dangerous, because they can switch the mask they wear. Rolo, what up, though? Appreciate you, my brother. Appreciate you. Good to see you, my brother. Good to see you. Sirius is in the building. Sirius, what up, sis? What up, sis? And look, check this out, Gary. Uh this is a better definition for Machiavellianism, because all three of them, at a sense, don't really care about your feelings. It's not about you with none of them. It's more about what they can get from you or what you can do for them. So none of them really care about your feelings. But the Machiavellian would separate, like, if you want to give a description, like a one sentence description of all of them, the Machiavellianism will be described best as um, someone who manipulates with the intent for you to do for them. They selfish. I guess that's better. They manipulate through selfish means, meaning they use you to get what they want. You're just a pawn. You're not even a rook. You're not the queen. You ain't the bishop. You're a pawn. Everyone's a pawn. Even the queen to them will be a pawn, right? That's how Machiavellianism thinks. No, no, no one on the board is more important than them. So everyone will be used as a pawn. The queen, the rook, the bishop, the knight, every part or player will be used as a pawn. That's the best understanding for Machiavellianism. When people practice that. 13 months, appreciate you, sis. Appreciate you. Keep, keep bringing the awareness to the airways. I appreciate you, sis. Hey, serious people like you keep this show going. So I appreciate you for supporting your boy for 13 months. Every Sirius had a membership ever since I had it available. Through the first time, and even when I got demonetized and remonetized, she grabbed another one. Appreciate you, sis. Appreciate you. So the thing about it is the whole point, or the thing about it is these people exist, right? And if you ain't aware, you gonna be shitted on. That's the most easiest way I can say it. That you gonna be taken advantage of. You gonna be manipulated. You gonna be used. We see these news stories where people be with people for 5, 6 years. The next minute they chopped up in a suitcase somewhere. Like they never seen the signs that these people was crazy. Like we see this stuff, we just ignore it. And sometimes it's through ignorance because we don't know. Sometimes we're naive. We based on everything on feelings, even though we say we don't. Everything is based on feeling. We live through feelings in life. Most things is how we feel. That's how we go about things. You know, and doing that, sometimes we desire. We set. You know why people settle, especially in relationships, because people feel good about the idea of being in a relationship. Not even the person. It's the ideal of being in a relationship, how it feels. So that's why people settled. That's why people continuously go through bullshit with other people. Is because it's really not the person, it's the idea. It's the idea. But when you make it more about the person, that's how you find the right person. And that's something that you have to, come to an understanding. Like even looking at friendships, like, why do even family, right? If a person keep putting you through stuff, how's that love? How does that love? 9 times out of 10, if a person keep putting you through stuff, you've been manipulated. You gotta, the emotions are like sunglasses, right? That's how emotions are. Our emotions will block our vision of how we see things because we be in love. This person is a family member. I love them. They not so those emotions, the way we feel about it, a lot of times it cloud our vision. Man, you got to take them. You got to get some clear specs, man. You got to eliminate the emotion and look at the actions. That's what tell the story, not what people say, not the ideal, but what actually tells the story is the actions of a person. If a person loves you, the action will show it. If a person hates you, their action will show it. Their action definitely will show it. Hate or love, the action will show it. I promise you. But a lot of times our emotion clouds or fogs our vision. The stuff be right in front. You ever been in a relationship or like friendship, romantic, whatever, and after you got out of it, you start noticing all the shit that they like. Hold on, man, they was doing this. They was doing. You know why you can see it now? Because you ain't got them damn feelings in the way. Them feelings gone. That's why you can see it. All the flags is there. I'm just giving a person the benefit of the doubt. Look, life is not a game. Even though sometimes we go about it like that, it's really not. You get one chance at it. One chance. And you can keep putting yourself back, dealing with the wrong people. You can keep setting yourself back. And sometimes you set yourself up dealing with the wrong people. You set yourself up. That's why it's important talking about these personalities. Saint, what up, though, nine? What up, though, nine? Appreciate you, Saint. I'm gonna drop the link. I was gonna play another video, but I think that's cool for now. This was a soft one. I got we doing a dark empath Sunday, and I got something for y'all tomorrow. It's called the word sacred or master something. I don't know what I named it, but yeah, I dropped the link if anybody want to come up and talk about you want to talk about the dark triad. If you got any questions, any statements, you can tell stories. We can sit down and uh get a deeper understanding of these personalities, the traits that's involved because it's always signals. Like this is one of the things, right? And we talk about this and we laugh about this. But in any type of relationship, I'm not just talking about romantic, I'm talking about friendship. When people like when we think of narcissism, right? It's easy to spot that. It's very easy. When people have to be like when we having a conversation, I tell a story and another person has to their story has to be better than mine. They got to keep one up in me. When people try to downplay you and lift themselves up, oh, that ain't really nothing. Or when you saying you accomplished something and then they try to downplay it and then uplift their accomplishments. Easy signs of narcissism. Easy way to spot it. When people try to make themselves, no matter what the situation is. I had friends at my birthday party tried to be the life of the party. Like, hold on, bro, it's about me. It's my party, bro. Like, what is you doing? You tripping? It's like they always got to have the limelight. That's an insecurity because when they're not seen, they feel little. That's why they have to, even on here, like when you talking and you making a point and somebody over talking you or they got to make their point, they never let you finish the sentence, but expect to always finish the sentence. And another sign for all three of these, right? Except for psychopathy, right? Psychopaths won't try to give an explanation, right, for their actions. They don't care what you think or what you feel. But definitely for Machiavellianism and for narcissism, when people justify bad behavior, that's a clear sign. Lack of accountability is a clear sign. That's not normal. When somebody mess up, it's normal to say, "Okay, my bad. I made a mistake and fix it." It's not normal to make an excuse. That's not normal. Well, I wouldn't have did that if this didn't happen. And then and that's just it. You know what I'm saying? I had people say sorry, but if you didn't do this, then I wouldn't have did. Like, bro, that's not an apology. It's not no fucking apology. That's an excuse. You're still blaming me. You know you wronged me because supposedly you just apologized, but now you're blaming me again. That's clear signs of manipulation, and that can come from a narcissist or um a Machiavellian. It won't come from a psychopath. The psychopath won't give a fuck. They won't care. Speak on evil eye. The stranger told me I have a strong evil eye. See, now, like my wife Middle Eastern, so their culture deal with the evil eye. So the evil eye is supposed to be the left eye. I don't believe in the evil eye. They took that from Egypt, that whole understanding, and it comes from the story of Herod losing his eye to his uncle Seth, right? But it wasn't the evil eye; it's really the all-seeing eye. Like if you look on the back of your dollar, you'll notice there's a eye in the pyramid. That's the all-seeing eye. So when Haru's eye got taken out, he was blinded, but he only had one eye. When he put the eye back in, he can see everything because Seth took his eye and traveled around the world. So when he got it back, he was able to see everything. It was like an upgrade. So, but the way my wife's culture explained the evil eye is they put it on them for good luck because they feel like people um, like backhand compliments, like they're complimenting you, but they're really cursing you, right? And it's kind of like it be tripping me out because we got them in our house. She keep them in the car. We got a tattoo on the back of her back of the evil eye. So my wife is into her culture. So yeah, she really believe in that. But when people be like, "Oh, your son is so cute," he'd take the evil eye and put it over his head. She was like, "They're really cursing. Like that. They're wishing bad luck on him when they do." Like but the way she explained it is like she can feel when something is genuine and when something is like them backhanded compliment or when people saying stuff but they say one thing but feel a different way. That's how she explained the evil eye. Yeah, it's for protection. Yeah, the evil it really is to ward off. If they call it the evil eye, but it's the all seeing eye. And the part the way they use it is to ward off evil. So they call it the evil eye. But it's not, the eye is not actually evil, it's to ward off the evil. But they call it the evil eye. I think that's lazy, but I mean that's their culture, that's the way they practice it. It's like three cultures. Like is basically like the Sumerian culture, the cultures that come out of Samaria. Like the Lebanese, the Chaldeans, the Assyrians, the Mesopotamians, the Jordans, people in Jordan, somewhere else. All of them are Sanskrit or um, Sumerian people. Yeah, all of them are like Sumerian people. But yeah, it's dope. It's dope. Like I said, I like you practice. I practice my cultural root practices, and she do the same. So like our kids be learning different stuff. So that's kind of cool. I appreciate them being well rounded. They go come out speaking like 3, 4 different languages and shit. So, and with language brings like perception. Different languages have they perceive things a little differently. So that's kind of dope too. Just make them more worldly, right? Um, but yeah, but these personalities, man, I'm telling you, and being able to read, that's the important thing. Is like if you don't know who you're dealing with, it can be a detriment, right? If you truly don't know who you're dealing with, it can be a detriment. And I'm pretty sure we all get stories in life where people took advantage of us, where people manipulated us. But guess what? We're still here. But then we turn on the news and we see stories where people aren't still here because they dealt with the wrong person. They didn't know what type of monster they was dealing with, and that's the key, not only to educate ourselves, but to educate the people around us, especially the youth. Y'all, it's 7 people in here sitting with me, right? So y'all hip to this right now, right? Y'all be hip to the things I'm talking about, but what about the people around y'all? What about the people around? Are they hip to all these different personality behavior? Most people, they use the term narcissist wrong. You ask a person, why is a person a narcissist? They can't tell you why. They say, oh, because they did this or did that. They can't give you a clinical understanding of why a person is considered a narcissist. Because guess what? We all get narcissistic traits. So guess what? Somebody might be in a narcissist because you're stimulating them to be a fucking narcissist. And that's what happens a lot. I have people call me narcissist. And I say, yeah, you know why? Because that's how I got to deal with your narcissistic ass. I have to be one to deal with you. I had to tell people that. Like, I'm being an asshole right now because you were being an asshole first. I'm just better at it. I'm just better at being an asshole. So you can call me a narcissist all you want. I'm just giving you more energy than you gave me. I'm not stingy. If you give me a little bit, I'm gonna give you a lot. I used to be like that. I ain't like that now, but I used to be like that. Like the same energy. It wasn't even the same energy. Whatever you give me, I promise you, I'm gonna give you more. So if it's good energy, I'm gonna give you more good energy. But if it's bad energy, I'm gonna give you just as. I'm gonna give you even more. That's how it was. So I will be. I'm able to adapt. I can play the game better than you. That's the type of person I was. So people done call me narcissist all the time. I had a psychologist call me a psychopath. Like, you're a psychopath. I was like, yeah. Well, how did you diagnose that? Because I have empathy. So how would you diagnose me as a psychopath? See, that's what I'm talking about. You just think you know every fucking thing. But psychopaths lack empathy. I have empathy. So how am I considered a psychopath? Saint is in the building. Appreciate you. Hold on, my brother. Where's it at? Bro, I can't see. Where's Bob at? I ain't seen Bob in a minute. Shout out to Stoic.
The key word is consistency, right? Yeah, consistency is hard work. Hard work. Sometimes you just want to crash out. Sometimes you just want to crash out.
Here you go, bro. In my bathrobe, doing the thing. Yeah.
Sometimes you just want to crash out. Sometimes you just want to crash out. Sometimes you just want to crash out. The key word is consistency, right?
I had to bring it out, bro. It ain't come out in a minute, man. That video ain't come out in a minute, bro. I appreciate you, my brother. I appreciate you. But yeah, people use these terms and don't even understand. Like, people call people narcissists and not realizing, like, you're bringing that out of them, or they call a person a narcissist because they use manipulation tactics. And then you ask them, well, what was the motivation behind the manipulation? Well, I don't know. How you gonna call them a narcissist? Because guess what? Different personalities use manipulation as a tactic. That's not narcissism. Like, did they want to use you? Yeah, they just wanted to use me. They ain't care. Okay, that was Machiavellianism. It wasn't a narcissist. Narcissists manipulate you because they want to control you, because they want to keep your admiration. They want to keep you, whatever you've given them, they want to keep that. And when you try to take it away from them, they will manipulate you so they can get it back. They want to control you. That's the difference between a narcissist and a Machiavellianism. Machiavellianism, they just want to use you, and when they're done using you, they throw you away. It's not even about controlling you. It's about siphoning you, getting whatever they can out of you, and if they can't get nothing out of you, then they move on to the next person. There's no feelings, no emotions attached. Nothing attached. There's no once and they're not aggressive. People who practice Machiavellianism, they're not aggressive. Those be the people you ever hear them say killing with silence? That's what Machiavellianism do. The person you ever dealt with a person and y'all thought y'all was like real cool and one day they just fucking disappear and you never hear from them again? That's Machiavellianism. That's Machiavellianism. And I know that because I was like that. I used to be like that. Like, shit, I never, well, and I can't say I didn't use people because I did. I did. I used people. I used people with the intent to make money. Like, I want to make money, but I don't want to put myself in harm way doing it. So what I do, I use the people. But, um, yeah. So that's just speaking from experience. I use people and, and in that environment, it's like, you know, eat or be eaten, right? It wasn't the strongest to survive; it was the smartest, and I just so happened to be intelligent. So um, I knew how to convince people that my ideas were their ideas. I still do that. It's called planting the seed. I just do it in a positive way now. I don't plant negative seeds no more, or I don't plant seeds with the intent of me or anyone else being hurt. I didn't care if another person got hurt, as long as I got what I want. I was cool. Like when I say people, the every like when you talk about a chessboard, that every part is a pawn. Everything was a pawn. There was no kings, there was no rooks, there was no queens, no bishops, but every piece was a pawn to me. Every and anybody could be replaced. That's just how I looked at life. And the reality is that's how most people look at life. That's the reality. Like especially when it comes to this is why they say these personalities thrive in business. I know people in business, they have a good worker, right? And before they reward that good worker or before they acknowledge that good worker, they have fired that person and hired three more people to do the job that one person did. That's how much pride they had. That's what I used to think. Like, that's how much pride these people got. Like, I'm busting on my ass, making them money, making them look good. And if I leave, they will have to hire three people to do my job. And they like, so what? We just hired three people to do your job, no problem. But you would not outshine me. You would not make me look bad. You would not, you won't get no power. Before they let you get anything, you just gonna be a good worker. And that's it. That's all your value is. No matter how hard you work, no matter how good your work do, you still a worker. They ain't give you no praise and they don't care about none of that. You know why? Because they couldn't control me. I was just a good worker because that's my work ethic. I had a high work ethic, but they couldn't control me, meaning they couldn't put me in a position of supervisor and tell me to do stuff without me questioning it. Because if I ain't believing it, I ain't doing it. That's just how I am. I don't care where I'm at. I know my job. I study my job description. And it was a couple times they was like, hey, that's not my job description. I'm not doing that. Well, nah, I'm not doing it. I'm good. They couldn't control me. Other people, they ask them to do some crazy shit. They'd be like, oh, yes, sir. Yes, boss. Yeah, I do it. I do it. They like people like that. That, yes, sir. That's not me. I'm gonna come in there. I'm gonna bust my ass. I'm gonna do a great job. But I ain't doing nothing that I don't. I'm not doing nothing to compromise my moral. I'm not doing that because to me, when I compromise my morals, that's me selling my soul. That's how I feel about it. When I compromise myself for money, for attention, for admiration, for claps, for cheers, when I compromise myself for that, I'm selling my soul. That's just how I feel about it. Sociopaths are usually like they introverts. I'm an introvert though too. They're like antisocial people. I wouldn't consider myself antisocial because I can socialize. I just choose not to. Majority of the time, it has to be beneficial to me for me to socialize. Like I have to gain some type of benefit out of it. I'm not just gonna do it because it's available to do. I mean, my wife call me an asshole all the time. Cause my wife go anywhere and everywhere and just start having conversations with people. I don't do that. I don't even want people talking to me half of the time. Unless we have something. But see, it's a reason for that too. It's a reason for that. I made that a principle in my life a long time ago when I found Neely Fuller. Because Neely Fuller, he got a saying, he told black people, he said, don't interact with one another unless you're doing something constructive. And that way, if you only interact with one another, if you're doing something constructive, you won't be being destructive towards one another. Right. So I took that philosophy and just applied it to people in general. I don't care if you're black, white, purple, orange, yellow. If we ain't doing something constructive, I don't want to interact with you. I just don't. And that way I know I can avoid bullshit with people. Because that's when you really, when you have no intent, when there's no intention between the interaction, that's when bullshit happens. That's when bullshit happens, when you have no intent, when you're not vested some type of way. Um, that's when bullshit happens. Oh yeah, that's definitely true. What type of character would you call someone who let somebody else win other than themselves? For example, in a race, you slow down to let. Now they hmm, what is that called? It's I mean that's like when people self-sacrifice. That martyrism. But what is it? Is damn, it start with an A. Um, will it start with an A? Not an A. It's on the tip of my tongue. Not martyr. It's a form of martyrism. Hold on, let me see. I'm gonna tell you right now. Mr. 33, Mr. Gary Busted Down Brown, what it do with the business is?
What up, though? What up, though? Man, I'm
So,
sitting there, I'm listening to you, and I'm trying to figure this thing out because, everybody got these traits, but, you know, we always got a problem with the misuse of words. People say narcissist. Somebody's a narcissist because they make it about them. That's not necessarily a narcissist. You know what I mean? Somebody could just be selfish. Are they a narcissist? You know what I mean? Like it's not. It's rules and regulations. It's situations that occur to where people get these titles. Just because you
and
selfish, that don't make you a narcissist.
see, like when I see people being selfish, it's always this is how you identify. And I'm doing so on this tomorrow. Give y'all some tools y'all can use tomorrow. But this is how you identify. Why? Why? Why are they being selfish? You got to understand the intent. Maybe because the circumstance they need to be selfish to survive, or is this just their behavior, their innate behavior? Now, if it's an innate behavior and it's not due to a circumstance or situation or an outside stimulant, then you can classify them as a narcissist. But you have to see the consistency. Are they always like this? Or I can be selfish, but I'm gonna be selfish. I'm gonna have a
Right.
reason to be selfish. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If I got a valid reason to be selfish, and you call me a narcissist, it's like no, I just can't. I ain't got it to give right now. I have to be selfish. Shit, I gotta eat. I got kids. I can't do it right now, so I'm being selfish. But if I got it, and then I mean any other, did I give it to you before? Yeah, but now I'm being selfish, and now I'm a narcissist. I didn't have that shit happen. Like, because I said no to somebody. Oh, you like what? Like, bro, you tripping? Mhm. Yeah,
That's what
what
I'm
is your
saying.
name?
You gotta keep trying to figure out the name of whatever you're trying to figure out with the letter A. But I think Stoic had a question. Let me look at Stoic's question. I think he had a question in the background somewhere. What type of character would you call someone who lets somebody else win other than themselves? For example, in a race, you slow down to let the second place win. I don't think that fits here.
No, I
Uh,
don't. But it's a name for it. It's not a martyr complex. I keep finding that when I look it up. That's not the name I want to use. It's altruism. That's what it is. Altruism.
altruism.
Yeah, altruism.
Mm. I found myself doing that a lot of times, but not as far as a race. Like if you don't want to be combative, all right, you right. You know, I like I'm not gonna argue with you. I'm not gonna debate with you. If you feel like your situation is correct, all right, you got it. You win. I'm good. Oh, because
Martyr,
you know,
like
man,
I probably had to break that down. The difference between martyrism and altruism. Like altruism is more like I put someone else before me. I put their needs before mine. Martyrism is like people be willing to sacrifice themselves for shit. They ain't got nothing to do with them. You know, they become a martyr. You know, they self-sacrifice. But from like what he's saying, like letting somebody win a race, you just kind of put people often that altruism, like people often put others' needs before theirs. You know, without like unconsciously, like without thinking, like okay, just put them before me. I used to do that all the
without
time.
a thought,
Like when I was
I do
trying
that
to
now.
change, yeah, when I was trying to change because I felt so, it was like in my head, I was like, I had to sacrifice myself like the lamb. Like it's not about me no more. It's about everybody else. So long as everybody else straight, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? So I often put other people's needs in front of mine, even though it made me suffer at times. Like a lot of times I got put behind the eight ball because of that, and I had to deal and nobody was there, but I'm like, I'm cool. I deserve this. I'm a piece of shit. I deserve to go through that. So I struggled for a minute, but I'll be all right. And I was always all right. And then I woke up like, man, people take advantage of that shit. I had,
They
man,
sure do.
I, man, I had so many people taking it. And I woke up and then it was like, nah, then I had to have that balance, right? Like I had to find that balance because that should be dangerous too. That should be
Yeah, well,
dangerous too.
it's like you it
Yeah,
would seem like you manipulating yourself to be less than what you're supposed to be. It's draining. You lose all
yeah,
that energy, and then you forget. Like that's why a lot of the times I tell people, sometimes you have to be selfish with yourself. If you're that selfless that you don't refuel yourself, you're gonna drain yourself. You're gonna drown in your own self pity because you're like, yo, I don't have it to give. I don't have it to give. And people are expecting you to give it. That's when that narcissist, you're a narcissist because you don't want to help me. No, that ain't got nothing to do with that. Like y'all
yeah.
just be using words for no reason. Like, what's wrong with y'all, man? Y'all go sit down somewhere. So I'm a narcissist because I'm selfless. That don't even go together. That's like is that an oxymoron? Like, hey, what y'all talking about?
See, I
You know?
believe everything has a purpose. Everything has a purpose. So it's a purpose is a reason that God said I created good and evil. So evil is necessary. If it wasn't, it wouldn't have been created. So everything has a purpose. I just think people misuse things. So people probably be selfish when they don't need to be selfish. You know what I'm saying? People have an abundance and don't want to share it, and then when it dry up, they be looking for people to share and not wondering why people ain't sharing. Because when you had it, you wasn't sharing. That's what usually happens. Stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like even
But
just,
that's
just being courteous or nice. You know what I'm saying? I know people who be assholes all day, and then somebody die in their family, and they want empathy from other people. Like, bro, you ain't had empathy for nobody. You think they about to give it to you now because you need it? Nah, that don't work like that. That's not how it works.
yeah. That was that situation with that guy. That just
Mhm.
got taken out.
I saw that you
You know what I
made
mean?
there.
Like, okay, like how could you want something you didn't give? And you supposed to be that dude that's supposed to be a Christian like character, but you don't give empathy. I don't know how that works.
He
But
don't
that's why
want
I
to give
say
empathy.
people just
He said,
put themselves in their own situations. It's a horrible thing. You want empathy, but you don't give it. You want kindness, but you don't show it. So how you supposed to know what it looked like if it's coming to you or not? And then when they get it, they want to be mad because somebody give it to them. That's just a state of confusion. Ain't no and a narcissist. That's just you in a state of confusion. You don't know what the hell you want. So people got to
when that
understand.
dude said,
Sometimes
he said
you
that's
want to
one.
get it.
He said that's one of the worst things that happened to society is they created the concept of empathy. That's what he said. Like, bro, we didn't create this shit. This shit been around. We just probably renamed it. It's called being kind, being compassionate. They just combined all that shit and called it empathy, bro.
Yeah,
They think somebody made up. What the fuck are you talking about, bro? And it's like, oh,
all
B,
these companies.
that's it's a sad thing that he got assassinated. Look, man, shouldn't nobody go out like that. But the words that came out that man's mouth is like he don't believe in it. So I think it's disrespectful to show him any of it. I think that shit disrespectful to him. He ain't
Yeah,
believe in it.
definitely.
So what you give it to him for?
Yeah, that's the disrespect to his memory. Like you, why would I can't give this? And the family don't deserve it. I get it, but then people would get mad if they didn't do it. Like, yo, you lived under this. You lived under this household of no empathy. So why would you expect to get it now? You lived under it. You expect to get it. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of crazy. That's like somebody coming to you and saying, you know what? Because you ain't teach me nothing, you ain't a teacher. It's because you ain't get me through a situation. You not a coach. No, it just you didn't want to receive what I got. So I am who I am. But if I'm giving it, I'm going to expect the same thing to come back to me. It's give and get. Ask and you shall receive. You know what I mean? But there's people that they don't ask for nothing. They demand it. Like, how do you demand that? Like, I demand respect. Okay, you can demand it all you want. When you don't get it, don't be upset because you gotta give it. It's a circular motion in life. You give it, you receive it. That's how it's supposed to be. But I don't know. They just got a straight line. I don't be know how that go. There's too many takers in the world, not givers anyway.
That's what my uncle told me. He said you earn respect by giving. That was the first lesson of respect I learned. It was like you earn it by giving. Person ain't willing to give it to you, then they ain't earned it from you. Short and sweet and simple, bro. You ain't willing to give it to me, then you ain't earned it from me. That's just what it is, bro. We can go separate ways after that. We ain't gotta, I ain't gonna fight nobody for respect. You don't want to give it to me, I just won't deal with you. I'm good. I'm too old. When I was younger, I fought for respect, but now I'm older, bro. I ain't doing that shit. Like I just get away.
Yeah,
There's
I
too
ain't
many damn people on this planet to be fighting with one person over some bullshit. You don't want to respect
exactly.
me, just say it and keep it simple like that. Why would you? I don't want to be around people I don't respect. I can't be around people I don't respect. I can't
Yeah,
put myself around people I ain't willing to respect. I can't do it.
that's look. That's against me. That's against my
Mm-hmm.
moral. I can't be around somebody like that. Oh, I mean, that's like when people like, yo, I'm over here. Okay, I'll see you when you get back over here then, because I ain't going over there. I
Right.
already
I
know what's
ain't
on that
going over
side
there.
now. Why? Why would I do that? You trying to get me over there because and then it'd be so funny with it because now if I ain't on that side with you, I ain't your friend. Well, that's what you want to call it. All right, you just
So be it.
somebody I know. I can live without it. I don't care. You got to stand on your principles. You got to stand on what your foundation is. If your foundation is to be selfless and not be a narcissist, you can't go over to the side of narcissists, because if you stay there too long, you will turn into one because you over there too much. You gravitate into the dark side, as Star Wars would say. The force is strong with you. You gonna stay your ass on the other side. You got to
Mm-hmm.
understand what this thing is about. We live in balance, but if you stay on one side, that other side you're going to pull away from. You can't. It's a balance. I know people think that you can serve two masters, but you're going to pull towards one and disassociate with the other. And then if you go on the other side, it's going to be the same way. If you want balance, it's you're not you serving yourself. I don't even know if I'm explaining it right, but it's a big difference when you go through that type of situation.
Yeah, it's like for me, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm down for the cause as long as the cause is down for me. You know, I think that's a good cycle, a good um barometer. I'm down for the people who down for me. You know what I'm saying? But if you're wrong, like I said, you got to understand that's who I am. If you're wrong, I'm liable to tell you that too. And if you get upset and mad, that ain't on me. You know, shit, that's on you. That's why I can't deal with a lot of people because a lot of people can't take constructive criticism. You know, they feel like they can't, bro. Like even like when I first, it took me like probably about 4 years, bro. Honestly, like 4 years to work with my wife because she got to that point where she finally started speaking up for herself. So she didn't want to hear no shit from nobody saying nothing negative about it. But I'm like, shit, sometimes you fucked up. And if I see you do it twice, then I'm seeing a pattern. So now I got to tell you. So she, you know, it took her a minute to accept, like, okay, he's not criticizing me to break me down or to destroy me. He's actually trying to help me. It took her a minute because she wasn't used to that. People used to just criticize her for the sake of criticizing. That's like
There was
somebody
no
telling you
couldn't.
you're doing something wrong, but can't explain what you're doing wrong. Like, how the fuck am I doing something wrong if you can't explain? It? You can't explain what I'm doing wrong, then I ain't doing nothing wrong.
Right.
You just
You
don't
can't be.
understand it. You just don't understand what the fuck you're doing. So just say it like that. What I'm doing is beyond your comprehension. We can say that, but if you can't tell me what's wrong about what I'm doing, then it ain't wrong.
It's just like people want you. It's like people that want you to stop being yourself, right? Stop doing what you do on here, right? Well, why would I stop doing that? Uh, 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 because ain't nobody receiving it. Okay, there ain't nobody receiving it, but that's not telling me why is it wrong. It's not wrong. Y'all just don't want to receive it. It's two different things. Until you prove that somebody's listening to me and applied it and it didn't work, and I can see it, I'm still not even going. I'm not going to take it as such. Well. Let me help. Let me see what you did wrong, because I know there's something wrong. And if there's something wrong, nothing wrong, then I got to evaluate myself, and I got to take my own self criticism and go ahead and figure out what the hell happened that it didn't go that way. But I don't, like I said, I don't think people really want. They don't want the good stuff. They just want the stuff that's fulfills them. That's why a lot of people are starting to become more selfish people. There's more selfish people than selfless people, but they don't fit these categories because they selfish. They just worried about themselves to a certain extent. But the way you break it
Most,
down, those are different categories.
yeah, most people just well, all three of them are selfish. I mean, and it's I can probably name about four more different personalities um, where people
Mhm.
just, but most people they just want to be entertained, bro. They want to be distracted. They want to be entertained. They don't want to look in the mirror. You know what I'm saying? They don't want it because a lot of the shit people do, bro. Like, come on, man. Let's be real. A lot of the people you done dealt with on here, bro. You probably can be like, okay, yeah, they embody this or they embody that. You know, they have low self esteem. They can't be disagree. You can't disagree with them. You know, you got to stroke their ego. They disrespectful to other people, but always demanding respect. I mean, you see this shit, bro, and it's like
Yeah, all the time.
so conversations like this they can't really indulge in at first. And I'm speaking from personal experience. At first, I'm like, I ain't want to talk about this because I displayed a lot of these traits. But when I corrected my behavior and was willing to learn, then I start, you know, it was easier to listen to it because it's like, damn, I used to do that. I'm happy I don't do that no more. So, shit, I didn't change that. I don't do that no more. You know, it's easier to look at it now. But before it was hard because it's like you don't want to look at yourself in the bad light. You know, we all that's what our ego is. Our ego protects our feelings with it, bro. That's what our ego do. It protects us from
Right.
feeling bad. So we'll listen to a beautiful lie before we accept the harsh truth. Because the beautiful
Yeah.
lie helps the ego. It stimulates the ego. It gets us feeling good, even though we know it's bullshit. Like we know we fucked up. I be hearing people scaring
Make-
people on like making excuses for their bad behavior. It is a couple content creators I stopped following. Like I can't do that shit. It's like they tripping. I told one of them like, man, let that shit go, bro. You tripping. They start going harder. And I'm looking like, okay, that shit out of bounds now. But it was people in the chat like, yeah, get them. They deserve this. You the realest. Like, nah, bro. You got a problem. That's what you got. Ain't nobody supposed to be infatuated on no one other person. Like people like that, bro. With your whole life, like you go to sleep thinking about other people, wake up thinking about other people, and not thinking about how to help them, how to destroy them. Something wrong with you. It's like if
yeah.
you spend all your time thinking about how to break other people down, you know what you ain't spending your time doing. Say how you can become better. You trying to build yourself off somebody else's downfall. That's fucked up in itself. That's fucked up. I'm gonna come
That
up
damn
and
near
break
sounds like
this person
Machiavellianism.
down. Yeah,
That's what it sounds
I'm
like.
a.
You tearing the person down so you can feel like you tall. What's
Hmm.
the what's the favorite the favorite line? Fuck your feelings. That's what a
Hmm.
Machiavellian tell you. Fuck your feelings. All right,
Hmm.
well, you ain't shit. Then they dox you. Your mama ain't, and then your daddy ain't, and then your kids ain't. Like, damn, you trying to really tear a whole family down just for you to stand on a pedestal, and you self-proclaimed. That's the crazy part. These people be self-proclaiming themselves to be things that they ain't even supposed to be. they building they selves up on sandy ground. That's crazy.
That, you know what? I learned that. Like, well, think about this, bro. When people call black people the N word, right? Like, what do they get out of it? People actually feel good by calling black people N. It makes them feel better about themselves. But it's like you have to use a term that you know the you got to use a term that defile people's culture and race to make yourself feel better. Like when people say it, you see the look in their eye. They be all proud of themselves and shit. And it's like that just shows your lack of um it to me it just shows lack of self esteem. Like you have to use a degrading name to try to make someone else feel bad so you can feel good.
They destructing an individual to falsify their individualism, I guess.
And they know
That's
most black people gonna react to it. Bro, most black people go, what you call me? You put me in?" When people say it to me, I'll be like, yeah, man, whatever. It's just showing me your level of ignorance. That's all it shows me. That's all you got, bro. You don't even know me. And you gotta just use that to try to make me feel bad, make me feel less. Nah, feel even better because guess what? I can talk about your actions, the stuff you doing, and describe your character. You have to insinuate something. I don't have to insinuate nothing. I'm gonna just read what you're doing, bro. And I can tell that your life ain't shit. And you projecting that onto me, thinking that you can take that uh feeling of less and project it onto me, and you will feel better about yourself. Now you think because you called me a name, it's gonna make you bigger or better than me, and you're expecting a reaction, me to argue. And I ain't doing none of that, bro. I ain't doing none of that. It just show me where
I'm gonna
you
go
at.
above and beyond. I'm gonna go above and beyond. You call me the N word? Come here, let me give you a hug. Let me pray for you. Like, what's wrong with this
I ain't giving you no hug. I don't want none of that bad juju on me. You got some shit in you. I don't want on me. You got some shit in you, bro. Them demons. There's some demons in you, bro.
Got
I was
that
like, I be
Beetlejuice
cracking
in
up,
you.
like, bro, I ain't over here bothering nobody. I don't go to nobody channel bothering them. I don't do none of that trolling stuff. But people, when they do decide to come over here, that's why I say I have fun with it. I have fun with your ass, boy. I'm gonna
Oh,
tell you
I ain't.
about your
I'm
whole childhood, and I can tell. Because if you got hugs and shit, you won't be over here doing this shit. You got hugs when you was a little kid, you won't be over here doing this little bullshit.
Yeah, I think somebody was asking the last time about can your traumas lead to this? And I'm sitting there really looking back. You got to be a strong individual to overcome those traumas. If you don't, yeah, of course you're going things are going to trigger you because you never got over them, right? Like look how many people so many people lost their parents and now they don't know how to react because their parents are gone. They act like they can't live without their parents instead of going off of the memories of what their parent would want them to do. They so traumatized that they just start spiraling out of control. So of course trauma is going to lead to those three specific those three specific triads because if you don't overcome that trauma, you're gonna fall to the situation.
And see, my uncle just passed away, right? It's crazy you said that. My uncle just passed away. And a
Condolences,
lot of my
condolences.
family, thank you, appreciate that. A lot of my family went down, to go bury him. But
Mhm.
a couple weeks ago, my cousin told me, like, yeah, they talk about after the funeral, we can meet them in the backyard. I'm thinking we having like some type of reception. They talk about fighting. I'm like, what? I'm gonna keep my ass up here, bro. Cause I'm about that life. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm about that shit. I feel better than I did a couple years ago. So I be wanting to test myself. I don't care if I'm knocking the motherfucker out. I know I still got it. So let me keep my ass here, not go down there. So soon as somebody
Yeah, but
jumps stupid, I already know what's gonna happen.
right, and that's what I'm saying.
But
When you have that mojo on that good side, as soon as you taste that old thing, and it damn I used to love that. Then you start sliding over there a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. Yeah, that's what I'm trying. You gotta understand. That's why you gotta stay away from individuals like that because if you do, you're gonna revert back to your old ways instead of you improving, you changing back to your old ways. Not to say that you was worse, but you, it's something that you wanted to get away from. So
nah, I was
you
worse,
got to be
bro. I
careful
was
with
a
that.
demon. I was semi-L. That's what I was. Yeah, bro. That's my counterpart, bro. I'm either gonna be Metatron or semi-L. And I used to live as semi-L, but I used to
But
live
that's
as
what
that
people got
type.
to understand.
I was about that life.
Yeah, I no,
I
I get
wasn't
it.
the
But I'm
smoke, bro.
saying,
I wasn't about the smoke. I was the fire the smoke came from, bro. That's what I was. I wasn't the smoke. I was the fire that the smoke came from. So I was about that shit. But now,
who's the igniter?
bro, I understand this now. It's hard to get out of stuff, but it's very easy to get into it. I don't work too hard to get where I'm at, throw it away
Absolutely.
because people, bro. Like you were saying, like my uncle died, and everybody acts stupid. And it's like, well, not everybody, just it's people they can't take criticism. You got a loved one. in a dire situation, everybody got opinions. And because people got opinions about how to handle it or what to do, then you want to get on that fight now. Like, where that comes from, bro? We want to never talk about fighting one another when he was alive. Never had no beef. Always love. All of a sudden, he knows. It was like y'all showing y'all true colors, bro. Come on now, man. Clear that shit up.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the sucky part about families too, right? You sit there like, yo, y'all waited all this time, so y'all was faking that whole emotion the whole time. Y'all ain't really like me. What type of shit is that, man? Matter of fact, I'm out. I ain't even gonna talk to y'all no more. I holler at y'all, man. Whenever I see you, I see you. What up? That's it. But that's a lot of people. That's what they say about the grandmothers, the big mamas, right? The big mamas is the glue to the family. Soon as Big Mama go, y'all don't even talk to each other no more. Your cousins has
Yeah, that's
disappeared.
cool. Yeah.
Aunts and uncles, they don't even know you. They ain't pick up the phone and checked on you in 20 years. Cause Big Mama go. I'm like, that's crazy. I don't even know how that works. Me, I'm a live off that legacy. I'm gonna live off that memory that she would want. All right, she wanted us to stay together. I'm gonna try to keep it together. Listen, if it don't work, I can say I tried. I can go on living with myself. That's up to you guys. All I'm doing is extending the olive branch that she would want. If y'all don't want it, y'all don't want it. Y'all can go ahead and be chaotic and worry about yourselves or whatever y'all gonna do. But me, I'm different. I love. So I'm not gonna be in those. I'm not gonna be that in that narcissistic character. I'm not gonna be that Machiavellian character. My consistency shows I am who I am. If y'all don't believe that, then I don't know what to tell you. So,
I ain't
like I
gonna lie
said,
to you,
like
bro.
Stoic was saying, go ahead.
My bad. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I think the Machiavellian personality, I think people need to adopt a lot of the philosophies from that personality. It just needs, I mean, everything has a positive and negative aspect, but that Machiavellian personality, that should get you, if you use it, you can use it the right way. You know, you can use it in a positive way, but I think people should adopt a lot of those philosophies because
Mm.
without doing so, you will be taken advantage of. It's just,
Oh,
like I said,
absolutely.
you have to balance the light with the dark. So, Machiavellianism, yeah, I think, I'm a student of Giovanni Machiavelli, bro. I believe in that. This, a lot of the shit he said, I just took his lessons and tweaked it. You know what I'm saying? You can tweak it. So instead of
And
doing it
you
to
add,
everybody, you do it to the people who deserve. I ain't gonna say people who deserve it. You just do it. You use it when it's useful. That's the best way I can say it. You utilize it when it's useful. There you go. You utilize it when it's useful.
yeah,
You
I
know,
think we was having a conversation a while back about being vulnerable, and I was like, I can't be vulnerable to everybody. Everybody don't deserve it, right? So I guess if I put the Machiavellian aspect into that situation, there's going to be some people that deserve it. I'm gonna have to give it to them. That's what I'm taking. That's how you are explaining it. Like sometimes you just gotta add it, but that's the balance that you always talk about too, right? You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
if you got that, if you have that entity, if you can control it and you show it when it needs to be shown, people will have more respect and decency toward you than if you just being a selfless person. So I understand what you're saying.
So, say, can you explain being Christ-like?
Okay, so in order to be, I feel like this. In order to be Christ-like, like I understand Christianity, it's like that religion has stripped everything out of it, right? Christ was a spiritual being. So in order to be Christ-like, you have to work on your spirit, your spirituality, right? So in your spirit, you're gonna have a good spirit and a bad spirit, right? It's gonna be a balance in your it's gonna be a balance in your life. You like your conscience is gonna speak to you. If there's danger, get away. Some people call that intuition, but you gotta understand that being Christ-like is gonna lead you to doing certain things in a right fashion, right? So you're gonna show respect to a lot of people. You're gonna be kind to a lot of people. But Christ also knew that there were some people he had to avoid because they wasn't ready for it. That's not a negative. Some people might say that's a negative aspect, and it probably is. Yet, still in all, if they're not ready for it, why waste your time? That's why they tell you to dust your sandals off and keep it moving. If you over there, they don't want to receive you, you keep it moving, right? But because Christianity, the religion, has stripped everybody from their spirituality, they don't understand what it is like to be Christ-like. Like people would just think that if you turn the other cheek, it's supposed to get worn out. No, you turn the other cheek to get the hell up out of there because you don't belong there. That's turning the other cheek to me, right? So for me, being Christ-like is just having an understanding that there's going to be times and places that you have to be that caring person, that kind person, that worries about other people. There's going to be times where you don't have to be there, and there's going to be another set of time that you have to refuel yourself. Because if you don't refuel yourself, you just going to be going on fumes. And if you going on fumes, you ain't no good to yourself or anybody else. So to me, that's what being Christ-like is. Being Christ-like is working on your spirit, your spirituality, understanding that, there's some good entities that's going to be around you. There's going to be some people that's going to drain you. There's going to be some Judases around you. There's going to be some Peters around you. There's going to be some Doubting Thomases around you. You got to learn how to control all of that within your spirit. When you control all of that, you can see things from a different perspective that the religion of Christianity will never ever, you'll never see it. And when you see it, you know how to separate the two and step away from that religious aspect.
So, like looking at Christ's teachings, when I think of being Christ-like, I think of self-mastery, not allowing the outside to affect the inside, but allow the inside to affect the outside. I think that's what
Mm-hmm.
Jesus is teaching. So it it's probably like a Buddhist understanding, more of a Buddhist understanding, but it's more of self-mastery, mastering oneself. Once you master self, then you can master the things outside of yourself. That's what Buddhism teaches, Taoism. That's what Christ taught. You can affect the world by being the effect in the world. You can make the
Yep.
change in the world by being the change. So being Christ-like, if you good to yourself, guess what else you will be good to? Things outside yourself. That's what's in you, so that's what's gonna come out of you. That's what I learned, studying like Christ and Buddha and Krishna. It was always about creating things internal so you can expel it external, meaning you can what you become on the outside is what is within. So
Right.
for me, that's what being Christ like is.
And that's why I tell people, you I might have to download it and make that a video. The one I talked about, out of the darkest things, there's a beautiful thing that comes out of it. And like I said, a lot of people, like right. We understand if Jesus had to go through a situation, right? He had to run away. His parents had to get him out of there. They was trying to get rid of him, so on and so forth. Then he goes back and goes to remaster the things that he had to learn in his teenage years. He's gone for most of his life, trying to figure things out, trying to better himself, trying to understand the spirituality of things, learning how to heal people, heal himself, so on and so forth. Then he comes back and goes back on another fast, to separate himself from everybody, to refuel himself to become the martyr. That's what some people will say. But uh Christianity gonna call him the lamb because he sacrifices his life. All of that, you gotta look within yourself to be able to hold all of those type of situations in, to be able to understand that the outside is going to try to tear you up, but as long as you got that inner being, you can go through certain things. That's why Martin Luther King, not to compare him to Christ, but he has so much self-control with himself. Like, yo, I see what's getting ready to happen, but it's gonna happen. So I'm still gonna be me. Malcolm, the same way. I know they're trying to get rid of me, but I still gotta be me. I gotta be this entity that dwells within me, right? That's the spiritual aspect of a thing. You're gonna get rocks thrown at you. You're gonna get intruders trying to break you down and all of that other thing. But if you stay in control of yourself, of course, there's going to be times you're going to turn tables. Jesus turned tables. When did he turn the tables? When they try to infiltrate his temple. Like y'all doing too much. Y'all got to get up out of here. This is not what this is about. This, excuse me, this is a place of being holy or worshiping this, that, and the third. That's when he quote unquote came out of character. When you affected something that his passion was in line with. Other than that, you ain't hear Jesus do nothing but talk kind to you. He whip you with a kind word, and he heaped coals on your head by just speaking kindly to those that was against him. And damn, you ain't have to speak to me like that. That's blasphemous. We got to kill him. Y'all killed him because he was kind. You know what I mean? That's what your spirit is going to do. Your spirit is going to allow you to be able to take care of those that are against you with a kind word. And you ain't got to throw your hands. You ain't got to do none of that. Now you got to do that because that's natural for most of us. That's the balance that we have now. But in the Christ stories, he never had to, physically do things as far as with his hands, besides put the ear on the man that Peter cut his ear off, or healed the blind man, or told the heal the woman from the hem with the hem of his garments, things like that. When you go about it that way, you understand it's an inside flow. That's why you are the storehouse, because there's so much God has given you within you that you can understand that everything that comes out of you, come from within you, can be a blessing and not really a curse. But people don't understand that yet.
Average logical thinker. What up, though, sir? When I was younger and I read the Bible, the first question I asked, like, how did this is? I used to think that how did Jesus pick and choose the people he helped and healed? Because he didn't help and heal everybody.
No.
If that's the case, wouldn't nobody been fucked up in the world? So so I used to wonder that, like, how does he pick and choose?
Well, I think he chose because the you got to look at how a lot of the people approached him, right? If you see they was at their meekness, they was at they was at the humblest appearance that they could possibly be at, right? Like, look at the guy that they put on top of the roof. They laid a man on a roof so Jesus could go up there and tell him to get out the bed, right? Like, you can't show no more of faith into this individual or into who Jesus is supposed to be than just drop somebody in from a roof. You just touch the hem of his garment because you feel like he is that individual. Your faith, the evidence of substance that you can't see, it's just the energy that's around him. That's how he could connect with that person. That's why he could connect with that young lady that touched the hem of his garment. That's why he could just pick up some clay and put it on the man's eye, and he could see. It's all about energy. But people they're not talking about energies. They don't even they barely talk about spirituality in these books. They just talk about the religious side. If you do this, this is what's gonna happen. People think if you pray, you're gonna get what you ask for. No, you gotta be put in that position to see if you worthy of it. This is why Jesus had to go out there and fast for 40 days. The devil told him, listen, I can give you everything you want. No, I got to work on this. I can't live on what you're telling me. I got to live on what God is telling me to do. So I'm paraphrasing, but you got to understand, it's not about things just be given to you. You got to earn it. That's why faith without works is dead. If you just have faith and don't work on the faith, nothing's going to happen for you. But because they just telling you to do it, you do it. You're not doing it out of faith. You're doing this out of being controlled by the religious side about it. If your spirit, your conscience is telling you to stay away from it, you stay away from it, you won't get harmed. Then if I would have went out there in that street, that car would have hit me. Or if I'd have walked under that trolley, the track would have fell on my head, or whatever it is. You just avoided something telling you to stay away from it. It's not a physical voice. It's a spiritual thing that's telling you, yo, go that way. Be faithful and go over here. Continue to do what you're doing. Or stop. Don't go about it that way. Or whatever it is. If you lean on your own understanding, like your physical understanding, your spirit can't connect with your physicality because you working from outside in. It's got to be inside out. But a lot, like I said, religion telling people to do outside in, and your spirit is to tell you to do inside out. It's two different entities working at the same time.
And, when I started studying Buddhism, that's where I found my answer at. And you alluded to it and showed uh he kind of alluded to it in there. But Buddha said something that it was a story about a blind man stepping on ants, and he was saying a person's intent shows their heart. So I don't think Jesus could help everybody. I think he could only help people who match the right frequency. Who
Mm-hmm.
the intent of helping. I mean, like even when people ask for help, uh, it wasn't with a selfish intent. I don't think it was from a selfish intent. Like the people he helped. I think people ask for help, understanding like the significance of the individual he was helping and how it not only helped him but everybody else. Like even when you look at Lazarus, what Lazarus meant to those people, you know. So I don't think Jesus could help. Like even now, even today, the name Yeshua or Jesus, it don't resonate with people. So it's impossible for Jesus to help those, that energy or that frequency that Krishnos, that Christ understand. It don't reach everyone. They can't match the
Yeah.
frequency to accept the energy. So if you can't resonate to that frequency, I don't think you can. You can't. It's just like radio. If my radio only designed to play AM, I can't get FM transmissions. If I'm
Mm-hmm.
only, you know what I'm saying. So I think that's. I don't think Jesus. I don't think God in general. Like I
Right.
think because even like when people say, why would God let this happen? Like they read the biblical stories when God, came down and did this and did that. All those are metaphors and allegories. The frequency and energy of God works through people. So it's not the fact that God let anything happen. It's the fact that people do shit. It's not God let nobody do anything. It's people are doing foul shit. So it's not God who needs to stop it. It's us. It's the people who need to stop it. Allow God to work through you to stop all this bullshit. But people, man, they use that whole concept of God. Don't nobody believe in that shit, bro. Even these
but
Christians.
that's the
And you got
but that's
Charlie
what I'm
Kirk.
saying. The
You got,
religious.
but that's what I'm like. Even Charlie Kirk, right? Rest his soul or whatever. But this dude said he a Christian, right? Believe in Jesus and all that. But what he did and the way he practiced didn't reflect that. Like
It was
you talking about
that was.
taking school lunches out. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, well, they parents need to feed them. Like, okay, that ain't so. Christ feeding the whole fucking town with a fish, bro. That wasn't his responsibility then, right? That wasn't
Right.
Jesus. Their parents should have fed him. That's not what Christianity is about. It's
252.
about loving and helping one another. Doing for those who don't, who are unable to do for themselves. That's what it's about, bro. So, like, people don't believe in that shit, bro.
No,
They
they
say that
don't.
shit
And
all
I
day.
was like,
Even debating, I practice and study comedic science, right? And
mm-hmm.
one of my aunt's 42 ideas is revere all altars, meaning respect all other gods. That's what that means, right? But then you. How can you respect somebody else's god if you debating if their god is bullshit or not? That's not respecting the altar.
Mm-mm. But that's what I'm saying
So
because
how?
they speaking from the outside. They speaking on a religious aspect. That's why I can like when you was when you are a Christian, you're not even listening to hear what the Islamic person is saying. You're not even trying to hear what the Buddhist is saying. Why? Because that's a religious conversation. But on a spiritual conversation, you are listening to understand. But when you are in the religious aspect, you're hearing to respond. You're hearing to debate. That's why Jesus. No, but when you are in the spiritual side of the thing, if you are Christ, like that's why Christ can go to his enemies. He can go to wherever the enemy. Oh God, what is it? Samaria. He can go to Samaria. He can speak to that woman, and that woman can say, "You know what, Dan? You know what? You understand who I am. I do." And she can run back and tell the town, like, "Yo, you know that dude, that Jew that we ain't supposed to be rocking with? He told me a whole story." And then they all coming to find him. Why? Because in your spirit, when your spirit is connecting with another spirit, that's the connection that's really that's not, it's on a different level. That's why when you're supposed to that's why when you're intimate, that's why it's called soul ties. But now that you so physical, they just call it, excuse my language, fucking. That's the difference. It's two different things. When you just having sex, that's not a spiritual encounter. That's just you pleasing the flesh. But when you have that soul tie and that connection, when you first met your wife, there was a automatic connection. It was an energy there, like, yo, she's it. I ain't fuck with nobody else. This, that, and the third. That wasn't a physical thing. That was a spirit. That was an energy, a connection, a spirit that occurred. Try the spirit by the spirit. But these people are so into the religious aspect that they're killing the spirituality in themselves. And that's why these people are going through what they're going through, because they're going to church and saying, you know what, I'm following the religion instead of connecting with the spirit, because they think that building is spiritual, and it's not spiritual. It's just a building. The spirit dwells within you. And if you dwelling with other people of the same spirit, you can have that occurrence. But they don't understand that, though.
Most churches are designed for siphon things and given. By the way, that's just a fun fact. Just the way it's designed, the structure, the von Sway is to extract, not to give. But I wanted to say this too. That's the problem about putting yourself in a box, right? Because once you go inside the box, everything outside that box is wrong, and that's the problem people have. Most people, you know how one way they detect intellect in people, one way they determine if a person is intelligent is not, is if the person is open minded, because an intelligent person is always willing to learn. It's the people who are not willing to learn that they show the lack of intelligence. So um, that's why, with me, it's like I can have a conversation with anybody, and if it's, I don't feel the need to correct people at times, and that's probably bad. But I'd be more interested of how they came to that conclusion versus the conclusion itself. It just tells me more about the person. So a lot of times, I just let people talk, even if they wrong or right. You know what I'm saying? Especially, I try to understand how they came to that conclusion, and that just tells me more about the person and how I can possibly relate information to them. But um, it's not a lot
That's
of open-minded people out here. Most people are just um, they
no,
bias
no.
with their perception. Yeah, they just bias with their perception.
They're
They don't have
biased
a
because
worldly outlook.
they don't, they only know what they only know what they was taught. And this is why I tell people stop being grown, because once you grown, can't nobody tell you nothing. When nobody could tell you nothing, you ain't got no room to grow. You closed minded. Your mind is closed, so it can't expand because you closed your mind. If you continuously can grow, not in the physical, that's the outside, but inside of you, your mind, your spirit, and all of these other things, you can understand if somebody's telling you, why they feel that way. That's why you can agree to disagree, because you can understand what that viewpoint of where they're coming from. I understand it. I'm gonna wait for you to, I see you got that passion and that energy, but when you calm down, we can have that conversation later, and they'll be willing to have that conversation later. But you just got to catch them when they turn down, because ego gets in the way a lot of the time. And if the ego doesn't go away, you don't have that conversation with that individual. He's not willing, or she's not willing to grow. Not to say that you're right, but to have an understanding. This is why I felt that way. I understand you. You understand me. We can have these conversations later on down the line. But everybody's not built to do that no more, because everybody's freaking grown. And when you're grown, you don't expand your thoughts. You don't expand your horizon. you deal with where you at, and they don't want to know nothing else. So that's a problem with the situation as well.
Even like, bro, I can help everybody with their ego. Shit, just build your self esteem. That's all you gotta do. When people be all egotistical, they be protecting they feelings from being hurt. You know, when people are wrong, then they feel like, I don't know. Like when people are, I look at my son, right? When he gets something wrong, he feels down. And I'd be like, nah, son, that's all right, bro. We go mess up. We go get stuff wrong. It's about how fast we can correct it. So even though we get it wrong, it helps us know, okay, I didn't do it right this time. Let me try it a different way. So that's what I'm building him up. But it's amazing. Like the more I study my kids, the more I understand grown people. Most grown people think like kids, bro. They act like fucking kids. They're underdeveloped in certain areas like emotion and mental. Believe it or not, most people
Mhm.
only comprehend on like a sixth to eighth grade level. That shows low mental competency. It's like they're not mentally developed yet. Because if I can, like, if say it like this, right? If I sit up here and made a statement about if I told a story about, I did this before, and I'm not gonna put no names out there, but I was talking about a situation I went through with an older woman on here, but I had another older woman on the panel, and she felt I'm literally showing the interaction between me and this lady, and I'm like, I'm showing like this is a lack of maturity. I wasn't being disrespectful, but I was literally describing the actions that was taking place and what I was thinking at the time, and she got offended. I'm like, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about her. Well, you can't be talking about older people like that. I'm not talking about older people. I'm talking about her. She got triggered off of me talking about somebody else because she associated her behavior with that lady's behavior. That has nothing to do with me. That shows your lack of confidence, your lack of self esteem. This lady is older and you're doing that. You're not comprehending. You're generalizing everything that I say and associating it to yourself. And I'm literally talking about a person. It ain't like I was doing a subliminal. It wasn't like I was saying like old people do this or old people. No, I was talking about a singular person, and this person took offense and started going off on me. And I'm like, hold on, bro. Like, okay, I thought me and you was cool. And I'm like, okay, I understand. I can't rock with you. You know, I respect you as an older person, but I can't deal with you because I can only imagine if I told you about yourself. How would you react? And I'm telling it, if I'm telling, look, if somebody say, word, you doing this, you doing that, and it's a fact, I can't be mad at it. That's how I'm built, bro. If I'm doing something, then I'm doing something. People with low self esteem, they can't take criticism if it's
Low.
constructive or instructive criticism. They can't take it. It's an attack on them. They feel attacked.
Absolutely.
They can't take it, and they go right into victim mode. Like, how you gonna be a victim if you attacking me, bro? How you attacking me? How you gonna be a victim, bro? When you the one swinging at me? Like, nah, bro. That's like them parents. Like y'all see them videos of the parents cussing people out, and then they swing on somebody, and then they get pushed, and they be like, "Oh my God, they're killing me!" Like, bro, you just swung on me. What the fuck are you talking about? Like that. That's the type of shit I be dealing with, bro. That's why I say, like,
Yeah, the
I
people.
had so many people fall out with me because they said I was doing subliminal messages and shit. Like, I ain't talking about you, bro. But that's your lack of self esteem because I'm saying something that I guess you're relating to yourself, and now you think that I'm attacking you, and I'm not. I'm talking about behavior and personality. So oftentimes I associate what I talk to me or something around me. And then now you thinking I'm talking like, nah, bro, y'all fucking. That's what I say, bro. I can't imagine if I did criticize somebody. You know, you see when I have no fucking fear of saying what I need to say because I done told some people off on here, so I have no fear of saying anything to anybody. I'm very polite. I'm very compassionate. So I will
Nah,
articulate
nope.
myself in a way that I think is beneficial. But if you piss me off, then I'm gonna just tell you like it is. I'm a
Nah,
railroad it.
they're
No
gonna call you
gasoline.
they're gonna call you a narcissist then. That's
No,
what
I
they're gonna
embody
say.
everything, bro. Hey, look,
I'm just saying
I'm
that's
a
what they gonna
fucking.
say.
Hey, look,
You
I
you
believe.
sit there
And see,
trying to
look,
help somebody, you still a narcissist. This is what I'm saying. It's like y'all just play
but
with
see,
these words and y'all
this is what you gotta. This is what you gotta understand about words too. I believe in one divineness. So anything and everything that was created by the Creator is within me, good or bad or indifferent, is all in me. It's all a part of me, bro. So I can be whatever God created, man.
but that look now you go to the religious aspect, right? You speaking from the spirit. Now you go to the religious aspect. You ask a religious person who created evil. I know one name they will not say that created evil. God.
Right?
And that's what I'm trying to explain. That's the difference. That's the difference between the
Hey,
religion
hey,
and the
you know,
spiritual side of it.
look, you know what irked me when people say God is not the author of confusion. I'd be like, bro, you a motherfucking lie. God created everything. What the fuck is you talking about? Then
Listen,
he used
and
the
I tell
people when he destroyed the Tower of Babel. He went down and
right.
confused. Let us go down and confuse, mother. Like, what the fuck? So somebody taught God how to confuse?
The devil made him do it. Now the devil got that
Oh
much control.
shit!
But that's what I'm saying. But that's the religious side of a thing, right? Like if you tell somebody that God repented, they would say no, he didn't, and I would say yes, he did. That's what the flood was. He repented and started over again. That's in your Bible.
Yep, I
No,
fucked
it's
up.
not. No, it's
Let
not.
me. And God was like, "Yeah, I
I
fucked up
mean,
making y'all. Let me get this shit out of here. Let me get
right.
y'all motherfuckers out of here.
Yeah,
Restart it.
look,
Okay, I
I'm
know what I
mad at
did wrong the
myself.
first time. Let me not do that again."
Right. No, he didn't. He ain't do that. That was a natural disaster. Didn't God create nature? This is what I'm saying. That's why, like I tell you, boy, that religious aspect, it taints everything. I don't care if I don't care what religion it. I don't care if you are spiritual. If you are spiritual and you believe that Allah is who He is, you could reach somebody who's saying that Jesus and Allah they're on the same wavelength. You could connect with that person, and they'll work together. That's what happened with Malcolm and Martin at the end. They understood, okay, now it's the spiritual aspect of this thing. All right, we ain't gonna go from the outside in, we're working inside out. They were getting too strong. We had to take them both out. They understood the assignment. That's why they're not here. But then when you got other individuals talking about they're Christian and then they don't got no empathy and so on and so forth, and you sitting there trying to assassinate this group of people character and you building yourself up, hey, things happen. I ain't, hey, but I mean, Malcolm said it best. Chickens come home to roost. So when that happens,
Mhm.
that's the religious side coming and kicking in. A spiritual person ain't doing
Man,
that. Ain't nobody with the love of
I'm
God coming to do that if you're doing the right thing. I promise you that.
I'm trying not to clout chase and talk about that Charlie Kirk shit, bro. But man, that shit looking crazy and crazier, bro. The more shit come out, bro, that shit looking crazy, bro. Like they said that his own people did that shit to him, bro. That's what it looked like somebody close to him. Because somebody finally asked the question I asked when I first seen it. I thought something like when I
Mhm.
first seen the situation. Have you ever heard anybody say this? How the fuck that boy know where he was gonna be at? How the fuck did he know, bro? I understand it's the school event, but you really got to think about it. This dude didn't go to that school, first of all. So how the fuck did he know how to get
Mhm.
on? How did he know to be on that roof? And how did he get access to that roof? Somebody had to
I
tell him.
believe that.
Somebody had to
I
show
believe
him
that.
how to do that shit, bro. And for
I
somebody
believe the
finally said that
conspiracy aspect.
that ain't no conspiracy. That's just a general question. Like you got an event, right? And he's under fucking canopy. Like, how did he know the whole setup? Like, was it? I don't know. It could be a question that could be easily answered. They could be like, look, they posted it a week before the event or 2 weeks or whatever. They posted it before the event. How the event gonna be set up? Cool, that's fine. But that question should be asked, and I don't hear nobody asking it because that shit is fucking weird. When they said that boy didn't go to that school, it didn't make sense to me.
Oh,
It didn't make sense.
well, I'm gonna say it like this, right? That just goes to show you how religion and spirituality don't work together, right? If you look in the Bible, it's the religious people that killed Jesus, no matter how you view it. Y'all can say the Romans did it, y'all can say the Sadducees and the Pharisees, they did it. Those are the religious people killing the spiritual being. That's just what it is, right? So if you got that what they would call it, a zealot or whatever you want to call that, when you got these people working together, hey, you gotta get rid of this dude. This dude is talking nonsense. Hey, listen, and there's too many people following him. He getting too much clout, so we're gonna take him out. That's what's happening now. You got to understand. You doing too much.
He ain't
That's
doing
why
what
you
we
got to.
want him to do. He ain't doing
Right,
that good, boy. Nate the Great in the building. What up, though, fam?
you missing
Nate
the
in the building.
assignment.
Shout out to Nate.
You failed, Nate. What up? What's good? You failed your assignment. Hey, you no longer required. You out of here.
Hey,
You know what
like
I
in the
mean?
music industry, bro. Some of them artists are worth more dead than alive, bro. That's how it is in real life. Some people worth more dead than alive. They can do more with their memory than they can do with the actual person because you can't control the person. They can flip flop anytime they want. But the memory is
Yes,
set
sir.
in stone, bro. This is what this person is. This is what this person believes. That shit's set in stone until proven otherwise. So you can do
That
more with a
music,
person doing sometimes than you can do with them here. I'm just saying, and
you
when you
can't
think
do.
about this, bro, when you think about this,
Mhm.
think about what I'm telling you. Most of the time, when people get hit like that, get assassinated, or get unalive, get murdered, if somebody close to them that's involved with the shit like that just don't happen, right? Like, man, hell no. There's always some type
Like
of
I said,
connection, bro.
and that's why I said, like, even when your loved ones is gone, right? You go off the memory, right? The memory is going to solidify who that person is. So even if you go with the music industry, right? God bless the dead. They said Prince was taken out for his masters. He can't change. He can't change his music now, right? Now his music is going crazy. What's Whitney Houston, Michael Jackson, what's the dude name from Cali that just got killed? Oh god, the rapper. Damn, I forgot his
Shit,
name.
which one?
The one that was
Nipsey.
the one the one
Yeah.
the one that was dating the actress girl. I forgot the nigga name that fast. Oh man. Oh, it ain't recent. It's a
Hey,
few years
the
ago. I
actress.
can't remember the nigga name. He was dating the girl from the ATL movie. Oh god.
I don't
Whatever
even
his
know.
name is, he his music became more solidified as he left the earth. Now everybody want to play his music.
Yeah,
In
but
New York, it would be
London?
Big
Was
L.
she in ATL? Was Lauren London
Yeah,
in ATL?
yeah,
Nipsey.
yeah,
Nipsey
yeah.
Hussle.
Nipsey Hussle. Yeah, that's his name.
Last
Those
time that
people
I
become
checked.
more. Yeah, those people become
That's my
more
shit.
important because you can't change the music now. You see what I'm saying? So now we gonna make your memory what it is, and we're gonna make money off of your memory. You can't change it. So that's the way that this thing goes. But if you are who you are on a consistent basis, some people they try to get rid of you. So you got to be careful who you choosing to work with. Is it important to what is the purpose of gaining the whole world and lose your soul type scenario?
Like,
That's what that
bro,
means.
I remember, like, bro, people, like, in real life, people, like, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I'm one of them people who willing to play stupid. Like, I'm like one of the people who just blend in, but there's a time where, you know, I move people or said something and they like, you should do this, you should. I'm like, nah, I ain't doing none of that shit, bro. They ain't getting me up out of here. Motherfucker start. I'm straight, bro. I am not no fucking martyr, bro. That ain't what I am. Y'all want a movement or something? I mean, I move on self improvement. That's the only thing man, I'm straight. I ain't trying to be no political figure or none of that shit, bro.
Yeah,
So
I
people,
don't want to be none of those people. I don't
nah, I'm
care. I
good,
don't
bro. That
care.
ain't
They
what
get
I'm built
paid.
for.
I don't
I'm a
care. They still
background
getting
dancer,
paid.
bro.
Uncle Bill, what's going on?
Uncle Bill, what it do with the businesses, son?
Look, I don't care if the politicians are still getting paid and nobody else is getting paid while the government shut down. I don't care about none of that.
Man,
It's not that
I
important.
don't care about
That's,
none of that.
that's what I'm just saying. I don't
Yeah.
care about none of that. I have to be consistent with who I am, right? And all I can do is be consistent. If y'all feel like I'm not consistent, hey, there's nothing I can do about that. Like I said, Stoics say it best. Consistency is the key. If your consistency is the key, you're gonna be able to see who's on that right side, who's on that left side, who's that narcissistic person, who's that Machiavellian person. You definitely gonna see the sociopath. You ain't got no choice but to see that. You can just look and like, oh,
But
he
you,
tripping, he's tripping.
what you got to do, bro? You got to make sure your lens is clear. Like I said, it's some emotions that prevent you from seeing all them red flags and shit. Man. It's the way you feel about, you know, the way you feel will affect the way you perceive things. So a lot of times, I
I think
mean,
yeah.
a lot of times we ignore the signs because of the way we feel about the person, bro. But it is what it is. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. I mean, just because you feel like the person is a good person, don't mean it's a good person, bro. It just don't. It's the actions that tell the story. Person doing good
Right.
things, you being a good person. But if they doing foul things, people, if you like them, you know what usually happens? People justify their bad behavior, bro. If they're making excuses for them. Well, they only did this because they having a bad day. Or this happened, it might happen. And so that's what made it, nah, bro, they fucked up. If I fuck up,
Mm.
like it's been times I came on here like, hey man, I apologize to the people who were supporting me, right? And people like, man, you
Mm-hmm.
don't need to do that. Nah, bro, I do because I promised them
I
something
said that.
and I reneged
I
on
said
it,
that.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like, I told these people I'm doing this or doing that, and I did something different. So I'm a hold myself accountable. And I don't like apologizing, to tell the truth. I really don't. But I know it's necessary. It's necessary for my development, bro. Is to admit when I'm
Absolutely.
wrong. I need to,
I
I don't
get
like
it.
I was telling my son today, there's a lot of stuff daddy don't want to do, but he do it because it needs to be done. And apologizing is one of them. I don't like apologizing. So I try not to do shit for me to have to apologize. But if I do something I need to apologize for, it's necessary for me to do so. It's necessary. I have to do it. I have to apologize, regardless of how I feel or
Okay.
anybody else feel. I'm gonna do what I need to do. Right? I like
I
to have my conscience clear, bro. So I
I
start having
understand.
conversations with myself, like your ego is fragile. I start having those conversations. What's wrong, baby? Your throat. It hurt.
Uh-oh, it's that time of season.
Mm-hmm.
It's that time of season. But
You want purple or red?
but that's what makes Word who he is, though, right? Because you know, in our eyes, we felt he didn't do wrong in this particular situation for sure, right? We told him, listen, you upset because you cussed him out. We telling you, hey, that was constructive criticism. But you know how you is. You like, nah. He's
Oh,
like, nah. I cursed that man out, so I gotta apologize to the people because I'm sitting there doing something I ain't supposed to do, and I'm like, you did it in another format. Like, nah, I wasn't supposed to do it that way. I was supposed to constructively criticize him, but not in that manner. I'm like, all right, whatever. Well, that's you. I would have. I'm proud of you. You did it the right way in my eyes. He's like, nah, I'm me, so I can't do it like that. And you just gotta rock with what it is. But that's what makes Word the Word. That's what makes Gary Gary. You know what I mean? It's different approaches, but he's living within himself. So he's saying he felt he did wrong by the action that he went about it. I didn't. We didn't feel nothing wrong, but hey, we can't. We our words can't trump his feelings. He felt like he did something wrong, so he needed to apologize. That's cool.
I don't got no lemon. Let me see if I got. We got no lemon juice. Yeah, we gotta buy some. I ain't got no more lemon juice. And we ain't got no lemons neither. I want to make you some lemon water real quick.
Ooh,
I go get
that's a
some
soft
tomorrow.
boy.
Okay? I threw that olive juice away too. I don't have no oregano oil. I'm running low on everything. So
Store
damn,
run,
I ain't even got
store
no
run.
oregano oil. Man, you want milk? That's gonna make your throat worse. You want a cough drop? You suck on this for a while too. It'll help. Huh? You can have a little bit, not too much though. Okay? Huh? You want juice? How you go from milk to juice, bro? Lucky you my favorite. You want my favorite person on the planet. I tell you go back to sleep. I feel both. I say he my favorite boy and she my favorite girl. I
Can't
get two
say
favorites.
that. You
Nah,
can
I
get
know how to
away
clean.
with that.
My wife was like, "You can't just say, well, he my favorite son or she my favorite daughter." Like, you only got one son
Can't
and one
be.
daughter. You see how I get away with
That's why you can say
it?
That's why he the lexicon, y'all. His wordplay is unbelievable. I'm trying to tell you. Blessings, 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 blessings. Blessings to
Rachel
the
in the building. What
OG.
up,
Body for
Rachel?
life.
Hey, I was in
Body for
your
life.
live before I started chilling over there. I was listening
I'm gonna
to the
tell Rachel
phone.
this.
So.
Rachel, you scared the hell out of me the other day. I'm gonna tell you this, right? She did the live the other day, and she's like, "Let's go, let's go," and the thing just cut off. I'm like, "Yo, y'all all right? What the hell happened?" I ain't see her for like 2 days. What the hell happened? I'm like, yo, what the hell happened? I
It's
don't know.
suspense.
I was like,
Eat up,
damn.
Gary.
Like,
It's
come on,
suspense.
get inside, get inside. I'm like, what the fuck? Just turned into a shit. I'm like, wow.
And you have Gary in suspense. See, I'm about to take
Yeah,
my
she
first
left.
sleep. I gotta get up with them babies in the morning.
I gotta get up in the
I gotta.
morning too. First game is
What is the name of
9:30.
that show? 9:30. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Oh,
They
man,
in
I'm telling
London.
my cousin like, bro, do you know at the beginning of the season the Lions tried to sign my cousin and he didn't want to sign because he didn't want to come off the bench. I'm like, bro, they would have dropped Deion Branch down to the nickel and you could have started, but shit, now I think they hold secondary out. They hold starting secondary out, bro. I think Kirby and Branch is out.
Yeah. Is DJ coming back?
He got 4 weeks, bro. 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah. So what are you talking? I don't know, man. You better call your cousin, tell him stop playing, man. Listen, get some of this free money, ride this momentum. He might could get to another chip for the D.
Yeah, bro. Right. I forgot. I forgot who. I forgot what I was about to say. What up, Rach? My bad, sis.
Yo, what up, dude?
What up, though?
Gary up here talking shit. He made it sound like something bad
Nah,
happened.
yo,
I was just protecting my
nah.
dog. I had a pit, and there was another pit coming by, and the young bull couldn't hold that joint. I was like, "Oh shit!" I went in and held my dog, and my phone went off.
That shit cut.
And
Yeah, I know. I'm like, yo.
I was not going for 2 days. I've been live every day since. Only
I'm like,
Gary.
I ain't see you. So I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, yo, because I'm like, yo,
Uh,
y'all all right? I'm like, just spinning and spinning and spinning. Like, yo, what the fuck?
where
I was
your
actually,
tablet at?
I was trying to protect the
I
young
don't know.
bull.
Where your tablet
I thought the dog
Like,
was
no,
coming at. I thought y'all was doing a drive by or something. I'm like,
at? Might
HP
be, it's on the
baby. We
drift.
ain't doing that at HP baby.
imagine being caught in the
It might
middle
be
of
on
two
the
pit
drift.
bulls.
Them dogs ain't got no. They ain't got no scoop. And then you got these trainers that fake training the dogs too. Yeah, I understand.
They don't listen. This little young listen because I laugh like after I do that shit. I do the same shit all the time because the young bull catches me out of nowhere. I be chilling on the steps. My dog be there, and they know my dog be there. I'm like, yo, why didn't you just cross the street? Because my dog's not gonna come off the step. because he's scared for me to pop his ass. I don't abuse my dog, but if you pop him in the nose, they hate that shit. But my whole thing is, young boy's dog be always trying to come up my steps to fight my dog, and I'm like, oh no, two male dogs, Imagine me in the middle of it.
You got the charger?
Yeah, I was worried. I'm like, damn, okay, I thought the dog was coming after your daughter. I didn't even think about the dog. I'm like, damn, the dog coming after the girl? What type is this?
Nah,
Kill that
man, like,
motherfucking dog.
listen, my question is to the parents: how you letting a little young boy that can barely walk your dog walk around? Like, you lucky I take care of my dog and I wouldn't let my dog out. But the whole thing is, if it was somebody else and they didn't have their dog on a leash, like I don't have my dog on a leash and their dog don't listen, it's curtains.
I'm just glad you're all right, because I'm like, damn, she just cut off.
Oh man,
like, yo.
no, I tell you, no, it was one day, and you know what, Rachel? I was looking through my phone, deleting videos, trying to get more storage, and I found that video. I screen recorded it. Rachel was on live. All you heard was pop, pop, pop. He was like, "Oh shit!" And then she was like, "Get her in the house." So I'm like, "What the fuck going on?"
That's exactly
No,
what
Rachel
you
saved it. She saved it live, bro.
I almost panicked
Literally.
in that bitch. I ain't even. I wasn't expecting that.
I couldn't
That's
tell.
like
Like you didn't hesitate. Everything was like bang, bang, bang. It was like I heard the gunshot. Only thing I heard, you was like, you hear gunshots and it sound close. You like, damn, is that by the house? And then I heard the door open. You was like, oh shit, she hit. And then you grabbing her in. Then I heard you. You said you was like put some pressure on the wound. And then you was like call the police. And then I think the live turned off after the.
no, I kept.
You was like call
Yeah, I turned it
911.
off after a little bit. Yeah, you're right. I did turn it off after a minute because I almost
Where
panicked in
is
there, John.
we gotta find. It was a cord over here earlier. You done lost all my UBC cords, bro. You done lost all of
ain't
them.
going to eat them. I don't want no Chinese food there now. Dog might get me over there. Fuck that.
I'm dead. Ain't no dog getting
The dog.
nobody.
The
No,
dog
you just gotta
won't.
be
The dog
careful.
won't get me because I got a free bone. What?
Hey. No, you just gotta be careful because some of these young bulls be thinking they strong, they got it, but no, not really. This dog is really stronger than you. And he was my dog. Like they two male dogs trying to fight over some territory that don't belong to neither one of them. It belongs to me.
Oh,
It don't even belong to me because the front of the house, right? When it comes to the pavement, it really belongs to the city. The property belongs to me. That's the funny part, and not even because listen, I'm not even gonna get into that. That's a whole conversation for another day.
Yeah, that's a whole different scenario. Let it snow, and then now we gonna get you. No, they don't. You don't get me. You gonna get them. You fall. That's on you. I ain't got nothing to do with that. Yeah, okay.
I wanted to tell Commander if you listen to this later. I got Rachel. I found a strand called the Undertaker. As Rachel always called me the Undertaker. I actually found a strand called the Undertaker, and then I just found a strand called Black Dynamite.
Oh shit!
Y'all remember Black Dynamite coming here chirping? Yep, I'll be smoking on Black Dynamite now.
Black Dynamite.
He in somewhere. He out there somewhere.
Man, they be naming this shit every time, bro. They got all this, bro. Wow, I remember when I was young. It was like you got Reggie, and if you got like the purple haze or some monkey paw, you thought you was you got some hydro.
Purple haze.
Nowadays, it's like ain't nothing got no regular ass name. I got some Holly Berry. Let me read some of this shit to y'all, bro. Let's do this.
I got Halle Berry.
Holly Berry. Holly Berry. Yeah, they got a strand called Holly Berry, bro. That shit's straight. It's straight, though. I like the Holly Berry. My wife get mad when I smoke it, but I got some Galactic Cherries. That's that Holly Berry. What's this? Some permanent marker. That shit fire too.
Permanent.
I got some watermelon gummy bears. That should be fire. I got some Louis Vuitton. The 15th. I mean, no, it ain't Louis Vuitton. It's Louis the 15th.
Ward over there fucking stack. I mean, my bad. He over there stacking up.
Yeah, he's
stashing. Dynamite. That's that sour diesel.
He ain't gonna come for 3 days, y'all.
3 days.
He ain't coming on for 3 days. You be there Tuesday.
Uh, I don't know what super booth is. That shit
What?
straight. It's some shit called super booth. That Afghani kush. That shit alright. I don't like it, man. That's not too much of
Bush. He said
Cali
They
Afghani.
funny as shit.
I think
Damn.
that's all I got right now. I had some crazy shit last week, but that galactic cherry is great though.
Where Commander at? She sleep? She was here?
Nah, it's Saturday. She probably
Commander,
telling me
Oh, I don't see her in the chat.
Commander,
I see you. Hey,
MIA.
baby.
Chat, where
that
you at?
she
What up,
she doing her
nine?
wifely duties. She doing wifely duties right now.
Been doing some
Oh,
soul searching.
We're on date night.
Hey, Stoic, you was over there, man. They was wrestling over there, man. You supposed to went down there and got some pictures.
Been doing some soul searching now. Christ come along with me, and now we are in the summer. Been at the beach in that salt water. Such a cleansing, about to make my way there. I was, you know what? I get this client, right? And like I do spiritual coaching, and I was they were into like rituals, right? They was trying to ask be and I was telling them it's like that's still living from the outside in. A lot of people who can't connect on the inside, they look for things to connect them on the outside to the inside, and that's what rituals are. Even though they work, I'm not going to claim it that it don't work, but even for that to work, you still have to just say ignite the flame on the inside first. I guess that's the easiest way to say it. It has to be in you to have anything outside of you heighten the frequency within. But Stoic is already there. But when I seen that, it just made me think about that because I was gonna do a show. People depending on like ritualistic thing actually it hinders their spiritual growth because they be dependent on the outside to influence the inside versus the inside to influence the outside.
Y'all got to. I'm gonna do a show one of these days. I'm talking about
Like,
submitting.
it really works.
They're gonna be mad. I don't know, man. I'm gonna stop talking sometimes because y'all be getting these people getting mad. I'll be talking. I'll be losing people when they get mad. I don't like what I'm saying. I don't care
It's-
though.
it-
Oh,
but but this is why people get mad because you talk from a practical sense, meaning you a lot of the things you say you practice it. Most people only regurgitate shit that they read. They never actually tried to practice it. They just know what the textbooks say about it. And when you give them a nuance to it, they don't like understand because they never practiced it. But that's how the shit got in the textbook first way because somebody practiced the shit. So that's why
right.
it's in the textbook. It's giving you a guide to practice, but people just stop at the reading portion and not the practice portion.
man. It's the same thing, a different day. I was just talking about this shit. People do the same shit every day, repetition. Complain about the same old thing, not knowing how to let go, all up in the emotions.
They ain't even complaining. That's bitching. I think complaining is a
I was
bad
being
word.
nice. I was
Yeah.
just being
But,
nice.
I
A
mean,
little sugar
but
coating
even
on it because I've been mean all day.
but look, but even like when we say complain, we all automatically associate it to something like negative, like people bitching about something. But it's levels to it. I think complaining is just bringing awareness to a problem. That's what
Okay.
complaining is. Like, hey, this
All
is a
right.
problem, But what separates complaining and bitching is the intent to create a solution. So when people just complain about shit without the intent to find or create a solution for it, now it transforms into bitching. But if somebody is complaining like, "Hey, I need help," like, what can we do to better this? That's something different. That's valid. That we need to do that because like you may see something wrong with the world that I don't see, but I may have the key or the answer to your problem. But if you never say something, then I can never give it to you because I don't know it's a problem to you because it's not a problem to me. That's why like this behavior shit, reading people, that ain't a problem to me, but I know it's a problem to a lot of people. So I give them the information or the tools that I have in hopes that it solves the problem with interacting with one another. That's why I do what I do. Is because I have solution to the problem. But now it's if people look at it as a problem to themselves for them to even download the information. Like people
Nah,
complain
they
about
don't.
this shit all the time. People are snakes. People are narcissists. People are this. They bad people. Oh my God. People keep taking advantage of me. People keep trying to manipulate me. That's because your ass is ignorant and you don't know what the fuck going on. But if you listen to the word, you'll figure it out. That's
Oh,
all you gotta do.
but that's
That's
the
the same.
problem right there. See, they mad at the messenger and not listening to the message. That's another
They
problem you
think because
guys
I
people
only got
got.
one eye, I can't see shit, but I know shit. He can't see
I
my
can't
problems.
stand it.
He only got one eye.
He don't understand. You ain't got to see visually. That's what I'm saying. Everybody observation is the physical thing. Even that, like just observing is just not looking. People, I keep saying that. I'm gonna say it every time. Observation is just not looking. There's other ways to observe besides using eyes. But y'all gonna have to figure that out on your own. We ain't told you already. Hashtag a better user, better us. But y'all don't want that. Y'all want to be y'all want to be independent.
What
Independent.
George said, he was saying, like his last comment. Check this out. So rituals are just routines that we practice. That's all ritual is, some routine that we practice. Like even if it's in a season, like Christmas is a ritual. Like the way people wake up and open presents, but it's a routine that happens every year. So a ritual is just something that's routinely practiced at a specific time or for a specific reason. That's all a ritual is like people make it all what that dude say, you be on that woo woo, So I mean, even
Ooh,
brushing your teeth becomes a ritual. If you brush your teeth every time before you go to sleep, that's a ritual.
Facts.
You know,
Bronze, what's going on, Bronze?
Bronze, my brother, what up, man? Appreciate you. Flat power in the building. Stop playing with me.
Yeah, well, they need to figure some other things out. They do what works for you. That's the best I can say. Whatever works for you works for you. Hopefully, it'll get you where you need to go. But if not, you got to expand your horizons. People are stuck. People are stuck in their ways. So I don't know what to tell y'all.
They stuck in their rituals. They stuck in their routine. Like Shorty said earlier. They're doing the same thing over and over and over. And sometimes people be expecting different results, even though they keep getting the same goddamn result. They just,
Ain't that
I
insanity?
don't know, bro. Man,
Isn't that
half of this world,
insanity?
bro. Like, look, bro. Like, man, like, I ain't gonna lie to you. I remember, like, what was like the mid 2000s when they was talking about that stone down in Georgia, when they was like, there's only supposed to be 144,000 people alive on this earth, like the reset or whatever. What was that? The Georgia something stone? You know what I'm saying? When they was saying how the world was go, like, I guess it was go end and it was only gonna be
We're going to
144,000 people.
Y2K.
Yeah, whatever. But look, the more and more look, bro. I wouldn't be mad at a world. I wouldn't be mad if God flooded this bitch again and reset it because half of these people don't need to be here. They fucking cheap and slow, and I mean, as long as they here, the world will be fucked up. That's the reality. Some things are necessary, bro. I know that shit sounds fucked up, but I mean, that's where we at, bro. Unfortunately, I mean, sometimes to create, you have to destroy. That's why civilizations have risen and fallen, bro, because the shit done got too corrupted, man, to the point where it can't be fixed. And I think in society, we at that point, or we coming close to it. If we ain't there yet, we getting close, damn near close to it. There's so much hate in this world, bro. And hate breeds different other attributes, bro. Destruction, jealousy, envy, all that shit, bro. Gluttony,
Chaos,
hate breeds all
confusion.
that shit, bro. And the more of that in the world, the less the love is in the world, bro. There's not enough love,
Well,
man.
they
People just, Like, bro, that motherfucker running into churches and shit and shooting and setting it on fire. Like, what the fuck is going on in your head, bro? The fuck you been eating? What kind of water you been drinking, bro? Keep that shit away from
Nah,
me. Like, who do that shit, bro? I remember I was chasing this dude down trying to whoop his ass, man. He ran to church and I'm like, all right, man, you safe. And walk away, bro. I ain't even stay there until he came out of nothing. I'm like, oh, yeah. That's how we used to think about it. Like, that shit's sacred. Now motherfuckers just shooting churches up. Like, y'all some evil sons of a bitches, even if you don't believe in that shit, bro. Like, you evil, man. You gotta be, man, that shit foul. Like, even a priest in the
I mean,
church, like, how you gonna be a priest in a church touching a little boy? Like, what type of evil shit is that, bro? This world is, man, people, it ain't the world, it's the people in it. But these motherfuckers need to be exterminated and we need to rebuild.
that's the tradition. Look, that's the tradition. That's the ritual. See what I'm saying? That's the
Oh,
religion. There ain't
man.
no spiritual bull in
Leave
his
that,
body.
that's why
That's
I'm
what
be, no, I ain't
I
fucking with that
can't
Jeff Cologne
condone that.
shit, bro.
Right,
Motherfuckers
that's what I'm
living like
saying. I can't
Cologne and
condone that.
shit, playing with little boys and shit, bro. That shit weird, bro.
It's too much in this world. It's just most of these people find the easy way out. It sucks, but it's true. They find the easiest way out. You know, you got all these women out here throwing themselves at people. You want to go and do that app? No, come on, man. That's ridiculous. But then you telling
I
me,
know we got OnlyFans now. Y'all going to fuck a little boy. Y'all tripping. We got Backpage. What's that shit called? That shit fucked me up when they was that Backpage they was doing prostitution and shit on, bro. That shit was wild. I'm like, hold on, bro. They got prostitutes in the
back
app.
page. What's the back? Yeah, back
Yeah,
page. Back page.
you doing Backpage shit, bro. I'm like, what the fuck? Like y'all tripping, bro. Like
It's, it's too much easy access, but the laziness of this. I'm telling you, people don't want to do the work. This is another problem we got. Nobody wants to work
yo,
at nothing.
bro, look, this how I knew the world was fucked up when I was little. I was thinking like there's one thing looking at a magazine, right? There's another thing watching a video. But like you calling a phone, like what is you getting out of that? You calling a phone and a girl moaning and shit, and you fucking people are weird, bro. Like I was a little kid, like what the fuck you get out of that? It's not a picture, you can't see it, you can't watch it. Like what you calling a phone? Like who calls a sex
You don't
hotline?
even know
Like
what they
that
look
shit
like. They could
weird.
be like 600 pounds.
Like, what the fuck is
Yeah, I
wrong
can't
with
with
y'all,
Bird.
bro?
He could have bought
No, I'm
anything up,
serious.
but
That's
he
how I
bought
used to think
phone
when I
sex.
was a kid. I'm like, what the fuck is y'all calling family line phone? Listen to people. Yeah, and they faking it. Like, come on now, bro. Like,
Well,
y'all desperate.
you
Like,
fail to realize that we're dealing with some brainless people. Did I say the right word?
brainless. Shit.
They brainless, heartless. Shit, we
Like,
dealing with some
we,
demonic people. Like, listen, whether we like it or not, we've said it plenty of times ourselves within our panels. We dealing with demonic people out here, yo.
It's
yeah.
a lot of worthless people out here. Dead men walking,
And they
soulless,
say that,
spiritualist.
Oh, he did it.
you know
I
what's
told you.
crazy? That
Did I call it?
what?
John Cena did the tombstone, bro. I called it. That was the only thing he ain't do was the tombstone. He did that shit today. Not
Who?
playing with me. I'm a psychic.
Wait.
John Cena, tombstone, AJ Styles.
Oh my God, y'all was talking about wrestling. I haven't
Mhm.
even watched it. I was so lost. I'm like, wait, what? What happened? Something
They
happened right over
tombstoned
the
him.
world?
Because I was like, damn, he done did everybody move. Only thing I ain't see him do was the tombstone. He tombstoned his ass today.
John
Yeah,
Cena?
Yeah, he sure did. John
he
Cena.
tombstoned AJ Styles. Yeah, he been
I
doing
thought he
everybody
wasn't
finishing
fighting no
moves
more.
and shit. Oh, he got 4 more
Yeah,
matches or 4 more appearances.
Oh,
Rachel ain't
that's
watched
all.
wrestling all year. Don't listen to Rachel. She ain't watched wrestling all year.
No, because the last thing I heard was that he was retiring. I thought he been did that shit.
He on his
No, he
retirement
retiring
tour.
at the end of the year.
So I thought he did that.
He been
Like, I
fighting
don't
all
watch
year.
wrestling no more. That shit, like, it don't draw my attention no more. It's not like it used to be. I tried it. I tried it last year. I was like, let me see. Let me catch on to it. I think somebody that I liked came on. But then I was like, fuck
Man,
it. This shit ain't the same.
man, bro, I'm getting all my unless it come on Netflix. or Peacock. I ain't watching that shit no more, bro.
It's kind of like
I ain't,
wrestling and YouTube are the same, but maybe I'm tripping. I know what I mean. Stop. YouTube has
no,
fucked
most
up
of the shit
wrestling for me.
scripted, bro.
Nah, you gotta get
Most of the shit.
VPN. Word.
I
If
mean,
you
it
get
was scripted
VPN, you can get
before,
on Netflix.
but the acting was better. I don't know how to explain it. I mean, I don't know. To me, it was scripted when I was younger. People say it was a little more realer, but to me, I don't know. This whole shit has been scripted since the first time I saw it.
I don't know. When you
I
stop
learned.
watching it, I
I
can
ain't
tell
gonna.
you what happened.
I'm gonna tell you what happened. Like with me, I got turned off of it when I found out it wasn't real. It kind of turned me off, but now I know it ain't real, so I just appreciate
Now,
it for what it is now.
now you
You
see
know,
what
it
I'm
was a
saying.
disappointment. Yeah, it was disappointing. I was
Imagine
disappointed when I
somebody.
realized it
Man,
wasn't real.
Listen, I've never
I
been to a
didn't know it
wrestling ring,
wasn't
right?
real.
Listen, I've never been to wrestling, right? But somebody bust my bubble when I told y'all when I was young as shit, like, and then I had to sit here and think about it. Then as I got older, I started peeping certain shit. Like, wait a minute, over here they're supposed to
Man,
be married. They're saying this and they're saying that, but in real life, when you research them, they're married to other people. Like, let's put an example, right? Kane and Undertaker, they're supposed to be brothers, but in real life, they're not.
ain't not. Yeah.
You see my point?
You,
Like,
you like when I learned wrestling wasn't real. That hurt me more than when I learned Santa Claus wasn't real. I was more pissed off when I
Like,
found out wrestling wasn't real than I
I'm a
was when
oh
Santa
yeah, you
Claus wasn't
tripping.
real.
Man.
I was, bro. I was more disappointed, bro. When I found out wrestling wasn't real, that shit broke my heart, man. Man, I threw all my. I had one of them. You remember them little stuffed wrestling dolls? I forgot what they was called,
They
but
had
the little
stuffed
wrestling
ones.
pillow things. I had like 5 of them. I threw all them bitches away, bro. I was mad as hell when I found out they wasn't real. I threw all my wrestling. I threw like 3 wrestling rings away. My mom got mad as hell. Like, you know how much money I spent on this? I'm like, it's fake, mama. It's fake. It don't matter anyway. She's like, what you talking about? You
Oh,
ain't know it was fake. I'm like, nah.
I didn't throw
She's
none
like,
of
you
them.
really think Hulk Hogan gonna beat that big motherfucker? Like, no. Like,
I'm dead. You know, it's crazy. I had a few of them when I was younger. I collected a few of them until I had left my mom's house.
oh man.
Came back. Listen, no, because I used to collect. Listen, like I tell everybody knows me. I was a Disney baby, so I used to collect the little figures from the movies, whether it was Pocahontas and stuff like that. I did the same thing with the wrestlers. I was into China, Triple H, Undertaker. I had them all and kept them inside the little box, right, and had them hanging in my walls and on shelves and shit, along with my little cartoon ones. Like I used to collect that shit. One day, I left out my mama house. I thought I was grown. Came back for my stuff. All my shit was gone.
Damn, you threw a
I
whole
remember when
childhood
I
out
left.
Listen, I was gone for 2 years. You gotta realize I was gone for two. I was mad at my mom at one point. I did not speak to that lady for 2 years. I made her
there.
feel what I was feeling. That's when my mom started turning around and treating me differently. Like she started seeing that her daughter wasn't there. I wasn't, backing her up. I was really her number one support. But I was tired of being stepped on, so I gave her that treatment. I'm a Leo. People don't even peep that part. I'll walk right by you like I don't know you if I feel like I'm being used or manipulated or something like that.
You
Just
a
pretend
Leo?
like you did to me. Yeah, I'm a Leo. I'll hold
You
grudges
turned
for
into
them.
So
that psychopath.
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Listen,
coming
I keep
out.
Mhm.
You
telling
supposed to have a
motherfuckers.
Kuna Matata. You supposed to be have a Kuna
Listen,
Matata. That's a Disney
one day
thing.
I walked
That's a
away.
Lion King.
Listen, when I felt the
Yeah.
pressure one day, my bipolar kicked in. I packed my bags and I packed my kids and I left. People don't peep
I'm
that shit.
past the Machiavellian. I'm straight. I'm
Hold
straight
on.
sociopath. I'm straight 730. I ain't going for that, man. But I knew wrestling. I'm gonna tell you how I knew wrestling was fake. Right? I watched the match between Hacksaw Jim Duggan and the Iron Sheik, and then like the next day, I found out they both got arrested for smoking crack at the same time. Y'all out
What
there
the fuck?
smoking crack. Y'all smoking crack the other day. What the hell wrong with
You
you
know,
people?
you know what was the
I
one
said
thing that
that's
hurt
real.
me, and I'm not gonna
Go
sit here
ahead.
and lie. Like, even though I knew wrestling was fake, I was still watching it because one of my favorite wrestlers. I mean, I said this before here was Eddie Guerrero. Like when he passed away, that shit, yo, I cried like a little ass fucking baby. I think I was a teenager. That was one
Everybody
of the ones.
cried.
And
That was
some of them wrestlers, man, they died so sad, bro.
Chris Benoit, I felt that shit. I really liked them two wrestlers. I was like, what happened, yo? And they didn't get that fucking.
China died sadly. Like that shit was sad how China died. That shit was fucked
They
up.
did
Like
her dirty.
Triple H got close to Stephanie and dropped her ass. Like, well, found a better one. See ya. Like, damn, that's fucked up,
look.
bro.
I found
And
my
then she
milk
started fucking
cow.
with X-Pac, making pornos and shit. Like, that's how bad she was fucked up. She started making pornos and shit.
They kicked the ass out. It's over.
You know what's crazy? By the time she got sober, she lived her life. By the time she got it together, she was in the reality shows and everything. I think she did a few interviews. I remember that when I was younger, but I didn't know she had passed away. I did a lot when she passed away, I think.
Didn't she die from an OD?
No, she something happened. She had gotten it together already. It wasn't an OD. Something happened. I forgot what it was.
Not sure. I'm not even sure.
They
All
don't.
I know is
I
that
don't
she
think they really mentioned it.
died early.
But
No,
I
they
remember when
did.
she
I
had
just don't
passed.
remember what it is
They
right now.
did. I know when
Yeah,
she
I
passed away,
think they did.
she was fully recovered. That's why I was like, I don't know why something happened. Like you see where like it's crazy. It's hard to talk about it.
All I know is this:
Yeah, she died of an
those,
overdose.
those
And
That's what
yeah,
they said.
overdose of alcohol, a combination of alcohol, anxiety, drugs,
pills.
That's what it
everything.
was. I was
Yeah,
confused. I was
Yo,
like, if
damn,
she was clean for
painkillers.
so
God
long,
damn,
how? Yeah.
painkillers.
sleeping aid. What the fuck is you taking, bro? God damn.
Remember, she was
She
going
was
through a lot.
listen.
Listen, she said she
That
started all
depression.
them drugs because she had to numb the pain. Like she didn't like she loved the porn, right? But she didn't really like listen, you gotta sleep with different men on a daily basis. That shit took a toll on her. She admitted that shit at the end. I was like, I don't understand why women, like go to them careers. Like that shit makes you feel
Trauma.
used and abused.
They
Like
already
that
Yeah.
shit
feel
took a
abused
big
and
toll.
abused.
A real big ass toll on her. Like she was making that money. But when she went, what's crazy is when she wanted to come back to the WWE and she was breaking that shit down. I remember I was like, damn,
He
they did her
wasn't letting her
dirty. I'm
back
gonna
in.
put it like that.
He wasn't letting her back in.
Yeah, they wanted her back. She was the one that said no. She did the whole interview.
Oh yeah.
She did a few appearances on the WWE and all that, but it was like because Vince McMahon was trying to play her with the money and all that shit. She exposed everything at the end. That's why I said they did China dirty as shit. Like nobody even understand. They did her so fucking dirty.
That's why you know when you live in those type of lives, that trauma kicks in, and then you hit one of those levels we was talking about. Like, hey, you don't care. You start getting depressed and all these other situations. Just look how many of them wrestlers passed away, OD'd, heart attacks, all that other stuff. they just dying like flies because they trying to meet the demands of staying noticeable. That's a whole trauma by itself.
She was suffering from a lot of mental health, and the drugs was her escape. That's why I was like, it's fucked up.
Yeah, man.
We
People,
got
I mean, they can just stick with weed, bro. Say, there's still some fucking in your system. You'll be alright, bro. Then you start doing all the extra shit. That's when it go bad, bro. Cause
Right.
life is hard for everybody, man. But it's our decisions that make it even harder. Bro. It's one bad decision usually leads to another one. So I mean, and that shit. But the chicken come home to roost. Eventually, you gotta reap what you sow, bro. The seeds
Right.
you plant, you gotta
absolutely.
harvest that shit, bro. So I mean, that's what I had to learn, bro. I mean, I think we all go through that process of uh, learning that decisions we make tomorrow. The decisions we make today, how it affect us tomorrow. Once we
Absolutely.
understand that, then I mean, some of us turn around and start making better decisions. Like knowing that okay, it
Mm-hmm.
ain't about the moment. You can't just think about the moment, especially when you're in situations where you highly emotional. You can't just think about that moment. You got to think about what happens after that moment. So
Yep.
make better
And that's
decisions.
why I tell people check on your people. Check on them strong people too. Because just because they strong today, they may be their weakest moment. You'll never know because you think they got it. They don't got it. Check on your people. I don't care what the situation is.
Facts.
You know what I mean? I check on word. I don't hear from word for a week. Yo, you good, man? Where you at? I'm chilling. I'm relaxing. All right, cool. All right, you good? Yeah, all right, cool. I'll leave him alone after that. That man don't respond. I'm about to put an
Man,
APB out on his name.
bro, they just put they just I found like 2 new Asian channels, bro. I'm back in my Asian drama.
I can't with him.
I'm chilling, bro. I mean, I'm staying the fuck out the way, man. This world getting crazy and crazy. I'm prepping myself. I've been collecting a little, man. Stuff like that. Ain't no purpose to be worried if you prepared. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, the same
I'm
shit.
good, bro.
There's no
Well,
point
I'm
of
not
being
worried
on.
about nothing that's going on. That's what I try to tell people. I ain't worried about
Mm-hmm.
nothing that's going on out there. I'm good. I'm straight. As long as they'll come knocking on the door, I'm good.
I'm dead.
Right.
I try to tell y'all it's time. It's time to get together. Get ready. We all
Yeah,
ready.
people
We
don't
ain't
even
gotta
see
stay
it.
ready.
Listen, I
We
was
gonna
just
we
talking
gonna we
about
gonna
that.
leave, we gonna
Yes,
leave it up to
baby.
Rachel.
I
Oh
was
my
We gonna
god.
leave
talking
it up
about
to
that in my
Rachel.
life earlier. Rachel.
Uh-huh. We gonna leave it up to Rachel. We gonna leave it up to
Uh-uh.
Rachel.
Shit,
We
I
ain't
was
gonna leave it
telling
up to
people they
Riley.
need
We
to
Mm-hmm.
leave
wake
it up to
up.
Rachel.
People need to
We
wake
gonna
up and
send
smell
them.
the coffee.
Huh?
You can't leave it to
We
me.
send
I
them
ain't God.
AP bag.
Where's it at? Everybody woke in?
Shit,
Where's it at?
I ain't
We
God
send them
though.
AP bag.
People do need to wake up though, for real, because everything that's happening, like I was saying earlier, right? Like in Philadelphia, we got missing women,
Again.
right? We got men getting unalived in parks and stuff like that. Like,
Again.
listen, we getting men getting unalived execution style, not just getting unalived in parks and stuff like that. Like what got me was like, damn, there was this guy they found, right, and he had his hands tied up and shit like that, and they were shot up. I'm sitting here like in the back of the head. I was like, damn, that was. I don't know if that was. I don't think it was personal. They say when you unalive somebody and it's personal, you use a knife, right? So, I mean, I don't even know how to describe that. I mean, there's so many things
No,
going
that's
on in
personal.
Philly, right? So it's like to the point where I'm sitting here like people need to wake up. Like y'all want to come on social media, bleed all over motherfuckers that didn't even, hurt you to begin with, right? Not realizing that the world around you is burning. Look at everything that's happening around you. Like, listen, for example, like Philadelphia, the buses, the trains, the trolleys are going in strike, right? And I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, a lot of people ain't
Another
even thinking
strike in
about it.
Philly? God
Another
damn.
bus strike again, another bus strike. Remember, they just settled the strike with SEPTA, right? And it affected not just Philadelphia, but it affected SEPTA. I mean, New York, New Jersey, right? Because people from Philly go to New York to go to work, right? And people from New York, New Jersey, and all that from the five boroughs come to Philly to work too. So, I mean, it affects both places in a way, right? So now they're talking about going on the strike after they came, with a deal. So I'm sitting here, I was like, yo, y'all don't even think about this, right? If all buses, all trains, all trolleys go on strike, that means that, the transportation system, right, is shut down. Y'all gonna have to sit here and pay for Ubers and Lyfts and taxis. Listen, regular taxis is a fucking arm and a leg here in Philly, especially in New York. All right. So like those are three options they really got to go to work unless their job is like 3 blocks away. The kids are gonna have to walk, right? And we know people, they're not gonna do it. They're not gonna walk to go to school, they're not gonna walk to go to work, none of that shit. So if y'all don't work, y'all can't pay bills, right? But then if y'all don't go to work too, these motherfucking establishments, institutions can't make their money. So what happens if everything really does shut down in the city? What is y'all gonna do? I'm
They
just saying
gonna
that's a
put. They gonna put.
possibility. I'm
On.
not saying it's gonna happen. My bad, Gary.
Nah, they gonna have to put some
Doing fucking
pads
a
in their
lot, but
shoes and walk.
yeah, man, I gotta jump down. My baby girl woke up. My wife had to go to work early tomorrow.
All
So
right,
I gotta
we
go
holler
ahead and
at you later.
change
We
these
gonna
beats.
shut it down.
See you
I
later.
appreciate y'all. I wish Commander was up. I would be like, Commander take over, but he's not here. And I don't
All
know what
right.
time these damn kids, boy. They've been running me all day.
Oh
All
man,
day. They will run
don't
me all tomorrow.
Don't feel alone.
But
Welcome to the club,
oh no,
okay? 'Cause
no,
I'm
no. I'd
the
rather
same thing.
have this than not. I'd rather have it than not have it, bro. It's a
That's
blessing.
how I be. That's why sometimes I
Yeah.
can't go live. So we understand you. Do your thing, man. We'll see you on your next live.
All right. I'll be back on tomorrow, hopefully. Yeah, I
All
should have the show ready by tomorrow. I've been working on it for 3 days now.
right.
Every time I make one piece, it's like, oh, I need to do this. I got to add this. Or I need to elaborate more on this. But yeah, I should have it together. I thought it was going to be easy until I started doing it. I'm like, but yeah, I rocks with y'all tomorrow, man. I appreciate y'all coming up here rocking out with me.
Bet. Let me go to the chat so you can end the live.
All right. Hey, man, y'all know what I always say. Care about how you feel. Use conversations to create nations. And if I said anything that resonated with you, do me a favor, hit that share button, tell somebody, help me spread the word. But until next time, that's all I got, man.
And do it for the 9.
What up, 9?